Hey, boys and girls, welcome to episode 13 of the Ready Up Gaming podcast. Unlucky number 13. This week, you have me hosting once again. I don't know if we're actually who's going to read the news tonight, Bobby, if you're up to par, but we'll see where we're coming to in that. So last week I was down, feeling a bit better. My name's Nal. I'll be hosting as always. Joining me is a bald bearded bruiser, Bobby Boucher. If it's your first time listening to the Ready Up podcast, what we basically do is every week, me and Bobby talk all things gaming, what we've been playing, and the latest gaming news and rumours from the world of gaming. So, Bobby, to get started, what's happening?
Not a lot, mate. Not a lot.
That's it. End the show.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. No, the only thing I've played this week has been Metroid.
Whoa. Let's back up a second.
There's a story for it.
No, I don't even want to get into it. You're going straight in, no kissing. Fingers first. Let me ask you this: when you and your girlfriend Demi are getting into it, do you just go straight in, dick in, or do you rub her first?
Fuck me.
Well, what do you do?
I don't kiss and tell me.
Oh yeah, well you went beetroot there. What are you drinking?
Magners tonight.
See, every week it's just you're drinking something different.
That's what it is. It's like, what are you drinking?
That's the thing. Is it, what's Bobby drinking this
What's
week?
Bobby drinking?
So tell me about your week. Tell me about your week. How has this week been?
Shite. For gaming. Shite.
Right. So for anyone listening, Bobby is a delivery guy who claims, because I obviously work from home, I work in sales, Bobby is out in the wilderness, as he says. What was it I said? It's like, you think you're like Bear Grylls, but you're more like fucking, what was it? I forget it.
Postman Pat.
You think you're Bear Grylls, but you're more Postman Pat.
Someone called me Postman Pat one day and I went fucking mental. It was a wee kid.
What, you do, smack him?
Coming out with his parcel, he was like, oh, look, Postman Pat. And I was like, you fucking wee cock. I hate being called Postman Pat.
Where was this?
Blagmore.
That's probably, that makes it
There
worse.
was one time actually I was delivering. It was around Christmas time. It was a bike, and it was obviously for the wee kid from Santa. And he kind of ran out, and he seen it, and he was like, "Oh, mommy, look, there's a bike." And then she went fucking mental. She said, "Get in there, you wee bastard!" and just started shouting at him because it was his Christmas present. I was just standing there. I was like, "Fuck me."
Mate, I have a better one. So when I worked in game, if anyone's ever know, if you're in the UK, game is like GameStop in America. If you're in US, whatever, right? But I worked there, and a wee kid came up, and he must have been about 12, but he was with all his schoolmates, so it must have been like a first year. And he says, it was around Christmas time, he says, "Can you check my game card and tell me the history?" Because you could check this. So when I worked in game, I was checking stuff when I bought in 2002 and all, and fucking PS2 games, which was really cool. But you could check it. And he wanted to know what it was bought on, because it was Christmas presents. So I was playing dumb, and he goes, "Here, just tell me, right? Be dead on. Is there a PS4 on it?" And I was like, "Mate, no, there's a 3DS here. It was purchased recently. Did you want a 3DS?" And he was like, "Fuck, I want the fucking PS4. It's like 2013, mate." But just see fucking with kids.
No way.
Yeah. So, yeah, but you could see all your history. It was cool, like just looking at your PS2 games and shit. You could see the games about on a 360. But no, I actually wanted to ask you this in the podcast about, because you wouldn't tell me, but you said about peeing when you're out and about, and this would be the hell for me because I piss like 10 times a day. Where do you pee?
So I have a routine. Whenever I go in the morning, I wake up, go for a piss, make my coffee, go out, get into work. I get into work, I have to sort the parcels out, whatever order kind of thing, whatever kind of areas I want to do. You know,
how long does that take? That seems like it would take quite long. Being a delivery driver.
I'm usually in for around anywhere between 6 and half. Out on the road for about half 7. It takes about an hour from when I get in to sort it out and then load it into the van. Loading it into the van is probably the most tedious bit.
How do you sort your parcels? I'm kind of interested now.
So I have areas I do. I would do, like, obviously people in the US or whatever, or even in the UK is listening, hasn't got a fucking baldy, but I would do Antrim, Toome, Randallstown, Parkgate, Temple Patrick, Nuts Corner, Crumlin. So I have an order I do it. So I would line them out in rows. Right. And then I put them, I know them all, like, without a sat nav now. I just fire them in. I know exactly every house to go to. So I would put it in my van in order, in reverse order kind of thing. So like Crumlin be at the very back, because I finish there, so that's where I live. So I just load it like that there in reverse in order. I take a wee bit more time, but it cuts off easily, like well over an hour of your day, like.
No, that sounds good. So what
anyway, pissing, yes. So I'll go for a piss before I leave the depot. Because I've had my coffee and stuff. Even if it's just a fucking dribble, I go in, force it out, unless some cunt walks in beside me, then I'm fucked, I can't go.
Oh, because we talked about that was the part, yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm standing there and someone comes in, then that's me done. I can't go. So that's my first
love
piss
this.
round of the day. I go out. I would usually do Tomb and Randallstown, and depending on if I have been in the depot, I would find that there's certain roads I know to go to where I can just piss, open the door, hides everything. You know, we can just go and piss because I'm in a big van.
Mm-hmm.
If so, that's usually at the end when I finish that section. Then I would do Antrim.
Right.
I split Antrim into 3. So
Right.
after my first third, I would then go for another piss, and then I would do the other 2/3 on the way to Parkgate, go for a piss, and then I usually make it to Crumlin, and then I would go for a piss.
A lot of pisses here. Do you have lunch
Yeah.
on the road?
No, I get breakfast just, and then that does me.
See, that's how you're staying thin, you wee fucking mess. That's
See,
why.
it's because if the way I look at it is, if I'm sitting eating, I'm wasting time. I just want to get home.
Yeah, makes sense. No, that's the way I would do it. So
like,
what
other
stops
people
you?
go out and get their breakfast, and then they'll stop for lunch, and then they maybe stop for a snack and all. Like, whereas I get a feed in the morning, and that's me. And I'm pretty hungry like when I get home, but that does me.
I would have a
Get
piss
home
bottle.
earlier. I did. So we had the brother done the same, and he worked in.
What, did you share it or something? We
in the
had.
deliveries.
Like, what?
No, he seen me doing it. We had like like on a big oil drum,
Yeah.
and we used that there.
Yeah, that's why I
I
would
was
have.
just in the back of the van and filled it. But then you had like, I remember my mum used to crack up when she got into the van. She would have helped us out occasionally when we owned the business. She used to go mental because there was like a big drum full of piss in the back of the van.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you may hide the box of shit at the back as well.
Or sometimes that's one thing. There was only once that I really needed to go, and I was considering using a bag.
A bag? What would you do? Like,
bag.
you put your legs through the handles and just.
But then that's the problem. Like, see, when you go for shit, you always piss. Or is that, like it always comes out?
Yeah, it'd be hard to kind of poo out a bit of pee.
Yeah, so that's what I'd be like. Because obviously, if I can't just stand on the side of the road with a fucking bag wrapped around my hole. I would have to do it at the back of the van. But then I'm like, well, where's the piss going to go? So I had to try and make some kind of system where like I have a bottle and then a bag.
Yeah, like you can get like you get a semi up and have it a bit thickness around it. Maybe plug the bottle. It'll be a nice wee kind of hole. But like I've tried to piss in the bottle and even the tip wouldn't get in. They're quite thin these days. From the penis tip.
You need a good big Volvic bottle or something.
Yeah, Volvic's a good one.
Something like that, or just the oil drums. But yeah, I have piss spots. It was quite hard over COVID because before I usually would have went in the toilets, but when COVID hit, then everywhere closed and we didn't let you in for a piss, so I just had to do it on the road.
Have you ever asked a person's house can they use their toilet?
No,
I seen
No.
something online. Someone said about like the window cleaner asked to use their toilet, and they were like, "No," and he was raging. No, but
no.
I would-
I've some businesses or something like I would deliver to regularly. Like I could ask them and they would let me in, no bother. But I wouldn't go into someone else's house. No, fuck that.
could I use your toilet for a
Here's a
piss?
question: while we're on toilets,
What?
right?
Right.
You go into the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
There's skid marks,
Yeah,
right?
I know what you're gonna
You
say.
try and
Absolutely.
piss them out.
It's a fucking game. Yeah.
Isn't it? So a woman would go in and see it and then just start scrubbing away with the bleach. Whereas don't we try and piss it out?
Yeah, but you need sometimes a good bit of heat, so it depends. Like, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes
if you
the
haven't
piss
got
on
it,
it
then
doesn't come out.
maybe you'll get it next time if she hasn't cleaned it by then.
So I clean the toilets in my house. Like in terms, that's my job. Like I clean.
Is that your one job?
I hate it. I just do it because I can't deal with dirty toilets.
Do you not see? I love leaving some marks and then waiting till she goes up and then I just sitting giggling. She's just got sitting calling me a dirty bastard.
Now Bobby doesn't fart in front of his girl, but he's able to leave skid marks. There's just a weird disparity here from what
I'm able to leave the toilet absolutely stinking, like unbelievably rotten.
like a murder
I still
scene.
can't fart in front of her. Like, yeah, there's times she's went up and she cracked up, and I go, when was it? I had something that was bad. It was my stomach. I can't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was maybe a kebab. A while ago.
Oh god, that's fucking bound to be.
It was something like that there with chili and garlic and all on it. And
Mhm.
I think I left it in a state the next day. And it was so funny. It was fucking hilarious because she went up and she was near broken.
Will you do me a favor? Will you look straight at the camera? I'm gonna ask you a question. Straight at the camera, right?
Yeah.
How's your girl? Don't be. How's
Right,
your
I'm trying my
right?
best.
Straight face. Be serious. Has your girlfriend ever fanny farted in front of you?
Like naturally?
Not
Like
naturally.
just
Like
fucking.
during anything. Just a
Oh, during stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So even she.
Is yours?
I've got mate. It's just a natural thing, but
That's normal. I thought you meant just like
No,
sitting
no,
on the
but-
sofa and then.
well, no, that'd be weird. Just where do you get her from?
But
But
that would be disgusting though, wouldn't it?
it would be.
Wouldn't
It
that
would
be
be,
really
yeah.
dirty?
Yeah. But all I'm trying to say is this girl's fanny farting and farting in front of you. and you're just not even taking.
Just can't do it. I've left it too long.
Well, that's the end of that discussion. So what have you been playing, Bobby?
I've just been playing a bit of Metroid this week.
Right. Tell people the story. Tell them the story. Do you want me to tell my version of the story, which will probably be different than yours?
Your version is different, and you and Kieran's been absolute arseholes.
Bobby,
there's a difference. There's a difference between getting stuck and losing patience.
Is it too hard for you?
No.
Okay, so why don't you let me tell my version, and then
you tell your version, and
Right.
I'll tell the truth.
So last week, I convinced Bobby to buy Metroid Dread with his OLED, which is probably one of the best Metroidvanias that I've ever played. So Bobby sticks it on, tells me he doesn't like it because at the start of it you get chased, and this is kind of it's a bit of annoyance, but okay. And then Bobby had started complaining about this, and now Bobby doesn't like getting chased. He likes to do the chasing mainly after kids, but he was getting chased in this game, and I thought you were going to put it down, and I'm glad you didn't, but you stuck with it, and you were saying this is amazing, this is great, but I forgot how hard it can be at the end. So Bobby at like one of the third boss gets fed up and puts the game on eBay and sells it because it's too hard. Later on that night, you change your mind because you're a big fucking wimp and your girlfriend was slagging you. So you cancelled it from Harry Potter, this guy was called. And you beat the boss the next day because I told you to sleep on it, which is true. We can get into that.
That night.
Right. But see the whole sleep on it thing, that works.
First go.
It actually works. It's weird. That's a Dark Souls mantra, that. If you're stuck on a boss, go to sleep. The next day, you'll beat it like first or second try. It's weird. But you beat him. And then now you're kind of... You're playing free. I think you're scared of it, is what my thought is.
No.
No?
Absolutely not.
So did anything I said there, was it wrong?
Yes.
What?
So I didn't get stuck on the boss. I lost patience. I lost patience with him.
How many times did you fight him?
Right. I was about 5 or 6. 5 or 6. And I texted you and I was like, it's not hard. I know exactly what I need to do. I just can't do it.
So then it is hard.
No, I just the brain to the fingers. It wasn't doing. I kept turning into a ball. It was the. I just
What, in real life? You're fucking turtle.
I wasn't getting the buttons right. I wasn't getting them right, and I know what I had to do, and I threw the head up and was like, "Fuck it, I'm not playing you anymore. You're just pissing me off." I lose my patience very, very easily, very easily.
So me and you were saying this. I have patience. I don't mind getting stuck on a boss. That's a different kind of patience, rather than you die and you have to backtrack all the way to that boss, which old games used to do, which we'll get into because I'm fucking playing a load of these ones that I don't know how anyone beat. That's different. But how far does it set you back when you die to this boss?
Not that far. Like literally, like
Aye, so you're straight back in
20 seconds
Fuck me,
to get
Bobby.
there again.
And I told you could do it.
It was. I knew you could do it. That's what I was texting. It was like, I know I can do it. It's not. I'm like, it's not hard. It's just my brain isn't letting me do it. Because I kept hitting, instead of I'm going to call it L1, I kept hitting L2 and turning into a ball constantly when I was trying to maneuver. Because it's very much, yep. You have the platform. It's very much like you have to keep on moving in that boss because he's constantly firing at you or whatever.
So the boss wasn't hard, you just couldn't beat him.
It wasn't hard. And then when I got fed up, your man had bought it. I went on to cancel and he paid for it and all. So I just had the market down as damaged. Stuck it back in, beat it first time easily. Absolutely hammered him.
Did the guy who bought it message you?
No.
No, he's just sitting there.
That's why I just marked it as damaged. And then if he did say anything, I would just be like, listen, the wee lads cracked the cover or something. I wouldn't sell it to you because that's not the way it was in the photos.
So what made you cancel the eBay? Why? What was the change of heart?
The thing is, I actually really enjoy the game.
Mm-hmm. Great
I really do enjoy the game. I don't enjoy obviously being frustrated, but nobody enjoys being frustrated. But I was like, fuck it, I just want to play it. So I cancelled it, stuck it back on, beat that boss, stuck to it, playing away at it. I think it was maybe, I didn't have any bother after that. So I played it, that was Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't play on Tuesday. I think I went back on it on Wednesday. I think that's the last I played it. I got on to Fly Boss. That the one
Can't even remember.
So it was like a Fly Boss, whatever. Took it out quite easily. It was maybe about third or fourth attempt. And then I got about 10 minutes further.
Mm-hmm.
and I walked into the room, and there was two of the wee bastards that I was stuck on that made me sell the game at
Have you
the
beat
same
them?
time.
Have you beat them?
But I beat them.
Okay.
That's what you remember. I was texting you. It was like, listen, I'm doing this one last time. If I don't beat them, you'll not hear from me tonight. I'll be waiting
That's
to
right.
beat
You beat them.
enough.
You beat them.
And then I beat them. And it was easy enough. It's just a matter of having patience. So I'm not stuck or anything now. I think I got halfway through some water bit and I was knackered the other night and turned it off. I just haven't turned it back on since.
So I love arguing with this because you're always like, you like being frustrated. That's the type of person you are. And I'm like,
You
no, I
love
like
it. You're sitting there getting absolutely hammered, fucking rubbing your nipples
You
like in
think
fucking
I hate
South
that?
Park.
I don't, but I like satisfaction of getting better at a game. And it's exactly I keep saying it with you, the AoE. Why do you play people that are harder
Yeah.
on the harder difficulties? Because you want to get better at the game.
But it's just losing patience. I lose my patience with everything, like work, everything, just like that, like flash.
Carries over though. So if you ever play any more Metroids, that
Well,
carries
this is
over.
apparently the hardest one.
It is 100%.
So
For different reasons.
have I got stuck to the point where this is too hard for me? No. I know I can do every bit that I've done. I knew I could do it. I get frustrated really easily.
God help you with the last boss. You worried?
No, if Kieran beat it, I'll beat it.
Took me a bit. Took me, not a bit, like it took me a wee bit to kind of beat it.
The
But
thing is, I'm not going to do what he done and go and get every single missile because I can be fucked
you don't
up.
need to. That's
I don't
what
think
I mean.
you need to.
Once he found out how to actually do it, because he was doing it wrong and I told him, lo and behold, he did that.
Yeah. No, I will beat it. I'll probably get into it tomorrow because we're going to be playing some Diablo after the
Yeah,
pod.
we'll talk about that when we're talking about you know what.
But-
So in terms of Metroid, I kind of going to myself while we're there. Still playing the Switch. I absolutely love it. I swear to God, that actually is it's so good. The emulation. Have you tried any of the emulation on the Switch yet?
The only stuff I tried was on the last Switch on Super Nintendo stuff, playing some Super Mario World.
I think
That's great.
Yeah, it's the same type of way. I feel a bit dirty though. So when I'm playing, and I'll be the first to admit this: Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion. I beat them both. You've been using the save states that aren't in the game.
Yeah.
And have I been cheesing it a bit? Well, yeah, because I'm just trying to get through them. But it does feel dirty.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're modernizing it really.
No,
Figure
I'm
that way.
definitely cheesing it.
I would say modernizing it.
No,
You know,
like
don't
I
be so hard on
mean,
yourself.
no, I mean, I'm actually cheesing it. Like the bosses, if I die, I just rewind it back to me not dying, and then
Oh, you can rewind?
yeah, this is what I mean. Well, this is where it's different. In Super Metroid, I didn't know you could do that. So I beat it,
Right.
but I did use save states an awful lot during the fight. So I cheesed it. But the thing is, man, I don't know. And see, when you're saying hard bosses, I don't mind hard bosses. But Super Metroid's the kind of thing, if you die, you're going to have to run the whole way back and do it all again, which I don't have time for. It's a very much an old kind of mantra. So it's not convenient to play. But even like Metroid Fusion, like I beat that. And I was thinking, like, how do people play this and they get GBA? You'd be spending about 10 hours in this game when I beat it in 5. It's just so fucking much padding. But that OLED, even for the classic games, it's so fucking good, man. I love it.
It is really good. It is really like it. I don't think Kieran realizes how good it is.
No, it's under
When we've been chatting about him because he's like,
understood
oh, he's a wee bit. He 100% wants it.
100%.
He definitely wants it.
I was going to say something there. I'll touch on that in a second. But Fusion, so Super Metroid's quite open. You might like that. Fusion's a bit linear. It reminds me a bit more like Dread. It's worth playing if you do want more of that. And then you've Prime sitting there. Are you going to get Prime a go or what?
Yeah, I'll do that after. Like I said, I'll do it after I beat Dread. Trade it in towards it.
And have you been playing anything else?
No, it's it's not one of them weeks. Not with games or anything. It's just with work. I've just been knackered.
So I said to you on the text today, you're a massive procrastinator. Do you know what that means?
Isn't it someone that just doesn't do anything or something like that? Or
The delay.
is it-
The delay.
Aye.
So
Yes.
it's I want the OLED Switch, and then it's 3 weeks, and then you bet. And then it's I
It's
want
3
the
weeks. It's like well over a year before I bought that.
and now you're
massive.
doing the dual sense. It's like just fucking buy the thing.
I went to B&M's there beside Argos, and I was looking at it while we were going through B&M's. I just couldn't do it. But I
Steam-
don't want it.
Steam Deck.
I'm waiting to see what
Right.
you think of it after a while. I'm going to give you a couple of weeks.
So my Steam Deck arrived. It is a bulky fucker. When you compare it to the Switch, it's like, what would I rather play on? 100% the Switch, by the way.
It's quite light though,
It's light, but it's just ugly.
and it's comfortable.
It's comfortable. Actually, I made me notes. I wrote bulky fucker, comfortable to hold. The hood.
Yeah. Very
this,
comfortable. It doesn't look comfortable at all. See with them sticks at the top. It looks like fuck that wouldn't be nice in the hands at all, but it actually really is.
so the screen compared to Switch is a massive downgrade. You know, that's like I look at that
Now
Switch.
you've got like both side by side because you didn't last time because you sold your OLED and then got the Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can see it like right beside each other.
See, I only sold my Switch because I thought, well, the Steam Deck can emulate the Switch.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually what I wrote notes on. So it was getting emulators to work. Bit of a faff. Got it. Nothing too hard. I got them all. So now I actually have Metroid Zero Mission, which is the next GBA title, a remake of 1. And then I have Prime Trilogy, which is Wii emulated. And then Samus Returns, which is 3DS. 3DS.
It's meant to be very good.
It's the guys who made Dread. 3DS is a bit iffy in terms of emulation. Bit stuttery.
Yeah.
The same with
it is.
the same with actually the Wii on it, the Dolphin. So I don't think emulating, like compared to obviously playing the SNES emulator and playing or not the SNES and GBA emulator on the Switch and then Prime remastered, it is a bit of a downgrade even from there. Going like, oh, this is a bit of a it's like PC, mate. It's just a bit of jumping through hoops to get stuff to work. So
Yeah.
last time when I played the Steam Deck, I was mainly playing World of Warcraft. But I don't know if I'm going to play. Well, I actually want to try proper games on it. I actually would like to say I don't want to even try and go into desktop mode or try and get shit to work. Just play it as it's meant to be played.
Just go on Steam, get some nice indies or whatever, and play away.
I think it'll be good. Like, what's actually play proper games. Like, if I go and play Devil May Cry on it, like I said I should have done, I probably would have been loving life. But so I'm going to go through the Metroids on that. But it did get sidelined and start playing Hollow Knight, which on the Switch is fucking fantastic. Absolutely gorgeous. What have you any interest in Hollow Knight?
Possibly after I do Dread, like I'm open to doing the Metroidvanias now and that kind of 2D kind of platforming.
It is, in my opinion, it's the best Metroidvania now. Just usual, like why you replaying it. I played it back in September, beat it. When you played it my first time around, I played scared. If that makes sense. Open world, don't want to go, don't want to die, don't want to get lost, I haven't a clue. Whereas now I'm kind of like, oh, there's tons of places I didn't go to before.
Aye.
But I'm also playing it with my glasses on, which makes everything massively different. So, what's next? If you beat Dread, what are you going on to next?
On the Switch, actually no. Here I played a bit of Breath of the Wild.
Got your stick?
Got my stick, got my sword, my shield, my bow, and done my first shrine.
Well, I tried to play A Link to the Past on the SNES emulator right after Super Metroid. Must have put about 4 hours in. I was like, I'm out. I'm not in the mood for this right now. Plus, it was
Is that the one you named your character Bobby?
that ruined it because it kept calling me Bobby the whole fucking time. I think my name's not Bobby. Don't fuck this. They constantly Bobby. But yeah, to be fair, mate, they make games now are just so much better. And then you think that like you know nostalgia goggles things, but they're so much simpler now. They're so much more convenient. That's what I would say. So what do you think of Zelda?
It's definitely playable on the OLED.
What makes it more playable?
It looks class.
It's just the look.
Everything pops and stuff, and then I think once you get past that in your head with 30 FPS, I think you're grand.
Did
I
you
think once
notice
actually
it
get
big
stuck
time?
in, I know it's there, but it's not too off-putting.
Mm-hmm. So how far are you?
I just done my first shrine, and then that was it. I got back to Metroid.
Was it a difficult shrine?
No,
Do you like the wee puzzles bit?
I do. It's like Immortals.
Oh, for fuck. No, Immortals is like that.
Yeah, they have lots of sections like that there, and they're all different. So I'm assuming that's where they got it from.
Yeah, but then you'll see the more you play off Zelda, it's a bit more like Pokemon in terms of the world building kind of things. When I say that, it sounds actually stupid. You'll see what I mean when I say about the Metroid aspects of Pokemon. You'll actually see about that with Zelda in a way, maybe not as much. But then also you have your the physics in the game world. You'll see all that and how that actually plays in it, which I don't think. I don't know. I don't think what do you call it? Immortals plays too much into that.
You could destroy like trees and rocks and all that stuff.
Could you?
Yeah.
But like, what am I trying to say? Like, you can freeze water and run on the water and shit. There's like all these types of puzzles. Is it like that in?
I don't know if there's that. There's definitely things along them lines in Immortals.
Like, you can run around a field with Zelda and have your sword in your back, lightning hits you, but then you can also throw your sword down near enemies, and the lightning will hit the sword, and it kills everyone. There's like the way the world interacts is physics
Right.
wise,
Okay.
it's very in
Yeah.
depth. So you've got that. Are you gonna go back to that, or what? You not in the
Yeah.
mood?
Yeah. I'm not in the mood at the minute, but I will maybe chip away at it.
What's your gut telling you? Because I think just to follow your gut, what you want to play.
I don't know. I'll see how this Diablo goes after.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get stuck on that. I kind of want to play Minecraft Dungeons now after playing Diablo last night.
You've been mentioning World of Warcraft. Why?
Yeah. Don't know. Are you still talking about it?
I love how you're throwing at me,
I,
going, Nal doesn't play. You ran off on World of Warcraft. I played for like 2 months.
I played it until I think it was until the level 20 or something. Isn't that the level cap before you had to start paying for it?
Yeah, were you on your Steam Deck or were you on your PC at the time?
I was both. I was back and forth.
You were back and forth. And you liked
just
it?
playing on both. Yeah, because it's just like, like Minecraft Dungeons and Diablo kind of style.
But I don't
So
know. Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So we'll see Diablo tonight. We'll see how that goes.
I don't want to jump into too many things at the one time because that's when everything just gets a mess and you end up playing nothing.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do. Like, at least I'm kind of going through. I'm in the mood for Metroidvania, so I'm kind of playing my way through them.
Yeah.
See anyone who doesn't like Metroidvanias, their head's going to be melted for these past few weeks. You know that? It's like me and the Devil May Cry saga. I'm sure Tim's
Yeah, it
like,
was
fuck
like-
this.
Devil May Cry and then we went on to Age of Empires and now we're on to Metroidvanias.
But I have been playing other things, which I'll talk about in a second. But let's talk about Diablo. So this is your first. Well, you played Diablo 3 a bit.
Just a bit.
So your experience with dungeon crawlers.
It's Minecraft.
Fuck me. The reason I've been saying
listen,
about this is like
You've been slaying me about it, but I know if you play it, you'll be like, "Fuck, this is class."
but I'm not disagreeing. I'm just being like, we need to play Diablo.
Well, you're trying to weigh me up. You're sending me all the Metacritics and all. I'm like, "Fuck off and just try it."
But I'm sending you
Yeah,
Metacritics to be like, look what they're saying about this, and you're so hyped on it.
That game, the games don't get re-reviewed.
Chick
what I mean?
games should get re-reviewed. They do. Some do.
I think some games deserve to be re-reviewed.
Was Sea of Thieves not
Yes.
re-reviewed?
No,
Okay. They should be
so
re-reviewed. anyway.
it's like I think it's 60 something on Metacritic. I think it's horrible.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
But it's to compare to what it is now is incredible. Sure, No Man's Sky, it was awful when it came, but now it's quite a good game.
Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons, it's sitting at 70 something, which is a good score. But compared to what it was, like it's incredible now. They've added so much to it.
I would give it a go. I'm only like I'm not only saying, but I'm saying the reason I'm kind of highlighting this is you're so high on it, and I'm like, where do you
I
play
love
a
it.
proper
Yeah,
dungeon
I know.
crawler? It's
I know.
well
Like
rated.
once I get into, I hope we do get into Diablo, the three of us. That's why like I don't want to start WoW as well at the same time. If we're going to do Diablo, let's fucking do Diablo.
Yeah. Like I think we
Know what I
should do. So what the plan is we're gonna play Diablo 3. So Kieran's bought on PS4. I have it on PS4. So Bobby has it on PS4. We're gonna actually the rule is we have
I
to. finish it.
actually own it. I actually own it on PS4 as well.
He shares it.
Just throwing that out.
We actually have to play it and at least do the campaign and then see how we go.
I'm down to play it, and I think if we all just chip away at it in our own time as well, and then just play the default one, whoever's least furthest behind. But we're all not going to be flat out on it.
I'll just play when you
we'll
start.
all
But
kind of
the problem I have is I've played the start so many times. It's a bit of a drag. It's a bit boring
Yeah.
now for me. It's a bit like Resident Evil 4, to be honest, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But it's the same kind of concept where I've played it so many times. That first 2 hours, it's a drag. So I'm like, oh, fuck me, it's so fresh in my memory. But we'll play it. We'll see what the crack is with it. So we both played Diablo 4. You played it last night. It had 2.5 hour queue time. Me and you were going to play it together. I was like, fuck that, I'm not waiting. You put yours on, did you? Just let it wait?
I went off it. I was like, fuck out there. And then I ended up, actually, do you know what? I ended up playing another wee game.
What?
Doom.
Oh, the wee...
on Apple.
Did you have to pay
Yeah.
for it, or was it Apple
No.
Arcade?
Free. No, it's just free.
Any
to play.
microtransactions?
Yeah. If you
Okay.
want them.
So what is it? This is...
It's pretty much just it's similar to how Vampire Survivors plays on your phone. You just use your thumb.
Mhm.
That's how you move, and it automatically attacks. So you're going through these wee it's just rooms you're going through. So you're clearing out each room. There's only maybe about a handful of bosses in each room. Gets harder. You kill so many, you'll get upgrades.
Right?
So you can have like double shot, which is kind of Vampire Survivor-esque, where that you can get like certain power ups. So it's that kind of thing. So you can get more health, or you can get like a spread shot, which might go out, and then you can also get spread shot again. or it'll go even further if you get me. So you're constantly kind of upgrading your skills and going through a run. So it's very like roguelike-y as well. It's class.
Why is this annoying me? That the people are copying Vampire Survivors now. It's like
It's very much like Vampire Survivors. It's not, and you're going through it's stages they call it. So stage one, level one or something like that there, and you're going through, you do that room, level two, and then at each, I think it's like 10, 20, 30, you'll find it like a boss.
mm-hmm.
You get, I don't know what they're called, but whatever that is, the upgrade, so you can buy new guns, so you can upgrade your suit, get different suits, and you can also, obviously, there's microtransactions for like the crates and things.
I should probably give it a go, but to be fair, even when the thought of Vampire Survivors now annoys me. And I don't know why. I really like the game, but I'm just kind of like,
it's quite good. Like, it is very good.
no, I'll give it a go. But see, with Vampire Survivors, the only thing I think might start to happen now is, do you remember fucking those Temple Run games and everyone started creating their fucking versions? It's like,
Yeah.
right, okay. But no, I didn't even realize that was how it was. But I'll give it a wee
It's very good. I didn't. I just seen it in the store because I was waiting on that Diablo. Turned Diablo off. I was like, fuck, I'm not going to get on it tonight. And then stuck on that wee Doom. I can't even remember what it's called, but Doom something. Anyway, stuck on it. Played it for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and then I says, fuck it, I'll try Diablo again. And then I stuck it on. It was 22-minute wait time.
So what's good about that is it's a game that just gives the game.
It's just a game.
That's why I'm like a Metroidvania right now. There's no time to get bored. You just kind of, you're sucked in. So 2.5 hour wait. What time did you get on last night at? About 8:30?
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Stuck it on at 22 minutes, waited, done my character, just done a quick one. I went Necromancer.
Did you make a
I think
female?
that's what. Yeah.
Look like Demi again?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Leave her alone. Imagine she made a meal look like you. Would you want that?
Sexy ball bearded bruiser.
Ball beater bruiser. I've made a note and I said to you, I think it's the best intro cinematic I've ever seen in a game.
Very good.
Fucking unreal. And I think it was made by, it must have been the Blur guys. Was it?
Oh, I have no idea.
So the Blur guys, they made like the Halo 2 anniversary or Halo remaster, whatever it was, video cinematics. They make a load of games, but
very good.
I'm trying to go off memory, but it's just showing you the film. But the way it's introduced me, I was actually like proper watching it. Like I was like, they could make a film of this. I'd fucking watch it, or a show. It was really high quality.
Think we'll get more throughout the game?
I don't know. Blizzard do usually have very like, you can actually,
their cutscenes are quite good, aren't they?
Yeah, but this was like next level, especially because I kept comparing it to 3, and the 3 the intro's not really nothing to kind of write home about. But I was like, oh, this is like proper dark and gritty. It's very much like Diablo 2 is, whereas 3 is a bit more lighthearted, kind of overall. People are probably going to say what the fuck I'm on about, but the way the game is made me think.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, I think we may have been about to ask the same question.
Because it's in my notes. So if you read my notes,
I haven't said it. What were you going to ask?
What other games have an amazing intro?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I didn't actually see that bit because I'd seen that you had notes, but I didn't look at them.
Yeah. What other video game has the
Are we
best?
talking cinematic?
Could be cinematic. It could be in-game render. But what one was like, fuck, this is phenomenal.
So, the Evolve
Mm-hmm.
opening cinematic is class.
Right.
From what I remember.
What happens in it?
I think from memory, you land. You see like your 4 people landing. I can't remember what they are, hunters or whatever you want to call them. Landing and then seeing the monster and there's a fight scene. No, it looks class. That's all I can remember. But it's phenomenal.
I should probably tell people what the Diablo intro happens.
Yeah.
So it's like there's like a religious guy. Like what are you going to use the name of? I don't know. A fucking priest.
Black guy?
Aye, like he's obviously spiritual and he can read shit. Like fucking.
Maybe he can read like ancient texts and things like that.
Aye, like that. And then he's with these rough people, like I think like raiders, but treasure hunters.
Treasure hunters.
And they go into this dungeon and they leave this guy to die. And they're like, oh, read this script. And there's a scene with the blood. No, it's before that. There's a scene where like they put their hand in this thing and all the blood.
Yeah, that's how they open the door.
Yeah.
And he reads it. It's like it needs blood, and then he calls 2 of them over while one of them's fighting off the horde.
Yeah, so like imagine Indiana Jones with a guy who can read religious text and then some rough cunts, and they're fighting this horde of enemies. They open this door. They end up fucking over one guy, and then just shit ensues. And I see that the way the blood was in making the kind of pentagon and shit. Oh, mate, that was incredible. And that villain, that is how you introduce a villain, because that's the girl on the front of the cover. That's phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. I was literally just like, this is insane.
Yeah.
But what other games have great intros? I was thinking about this.
God of War 3.
I keep thinking of one when I think God of War 3.
God of War 3, you're on the Titan. Climb up Mount Olympus.
Oh, yeah. Great intro.
That's got to be one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah. No, that would actually probably is. I'm trying to think as well. Obviously, there's probably a Metal Gear one in there. Metal Gear 2. There's a great intro. You won't know it, but you're going onto the boat. I wrote Kingdom Hearts. And I'm going to talk about this later, by the way. But Kingdom Hearts, the intro on that, it's kind of like you're falling through water and all these like cutscenes are happening from scenes from the game, but with a great banging song. Simple and clean if anyone's ever played it. And then I wrote Final Fantasy 7. But even at that, I think God of War probably has a great opening. God of War has the best probably opening is in game, isn't it?
It starts off kind of cinematic, and then it kind of pans down to end game.
Yeah, so I think that to be fair, that might actually be the best because that's showing you right you're here now. Do you know what I mean? To set you up. 1 second.
Because it kind of shows you the scale of Gaia, who you're climbing on. That's just massive climb up Mount Olympus, and then it just zooms in, and you're just this wee tiny dot, and you're climbing on her.
You're bought in right away. Do you know what I mean? And it's funny that we're talking about this because I was watching a TV show, and with TV shows, sometimes it takes like 4 episodes to get bought in right away. And I'm like, just fucking do something to get my attention right away. But this also, so Diablo 4 has that scene, then it seems to pick up right after it anyway. Is that right?
I think so.
So you're in like this, you pick a character and you're in the frozen kind of wasteland part. What was your first impression of graphics?
I think they look good. It is an upgrade from 3. I stuck 3 on earlier.
It looks like 2. It looks like 2.
Does it? See, that's what
tone.
people are saying. It's got that more like kind of gritty colours, like 2 did. Whereas I think 3 was a bit more colourful.
Yeah, and even at that, see in the menus and stuff when you're equipping stuff, it actually feels backwards in a way because the way you do it on 3, which you'll see tonight, it's a bit more like arcadey and welcoming, where it sounds all bright colours and stuff, and with this, it's a bit more like grim. The whole layout and stuff, it seems a bit more complicated actually. Whereas when you see tonight, even in equipping your skills, I was like, well, what level do you have to be to equip this skill? It doesn't tell me. Whereas I think on 3 seems a lot more accessible, is what I'll say for new players. And when we actually play, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. But it does seem a lot more accessible. But I prefer the grittier kind of tone.
Yeah.
But me and you were both the same. We're like, we don't want to play too much because
we were the exact same. We didn't tell it. Now I says to you last night, like I was like, this is class. I don't know if I want to play it because I think I want to wait. Mm-hmm. And you stopped at the exact same point as me. So you done the first wee dungeon. You got back out to the bar, where you kind of go to sleep or you get knocked out. And then I stopped, turned it off.
I was like, no, because I don't want to. There's no point watching all this story and then having to redo it again because I know what I'm in for. But
I'm all in. Like I can't wait. What class did you go for?
Barbarian.
Barbarian. I went Necromancer, and apparently they're actually really overpowered in the beta.
Easy mode.
I didn't know that there. But I had like 4 undead skeletons with me.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I just hate, are they is the Necromancer like projectile based?
No, she started off with like a scythe kind of thing.
Oh.
And then I upgraded that in the skill tree to make it like, so even if I have like I think I ended up getting like a double-handed sword, but it had like some skill which made it into like a giant scythe whenever I sweep. So it was very like a long sweep.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So I thought it was class. That's definitely who I'm going to be playing as.
And did you get any other unlocks?
I got one other one. I can't remember what it was though. Some kind of fire thing maybe.
So I'm just very worried, like, because there's probably people who listen who have never played a Diablo game or a Minecraft Dungeons, so they don't even know what it is. So it's kind of hard to explain, but the way these kind of games go is they're called dungeon crawlers. So essentially what you do is you go through levels and areas and then dungeons to fight a boss, which drops loot, and then you can increase your loot to do then harder dungeons and harder difficulties, and it kind of progresses that way. So a lot of games that would be similar would be actually like World of Warcraft with your dungeons and things, and then people can go and do the raids, which are harder. So it's a lot like that. And if you've never played one, like, Diablo games are phenomenal. They're really good crack, and obviously they're really good with people. So I actually made a note saying it's a very cinematic story, which I am interested in, and that's kind of why I wanted to stop. Whereas Diablo 3 story, I can give a fuck about whatsoever. But I sent you that in. Did you watch the video I sent in about people saying it's basically an MMO.
No, I was driving. I think I was in Lisburn driving at that time when you sent it.
So it seems to blur the lines now. Like, what is an MMO? Because there's people running about the towns. There's world quests. So it seems a lot like there's a game on PC. I'm going to forget the name on it, but it's similar in style to this. I think it's a Chinese company. It blew up, but that is actually classed as an MMO. So a lot of people are saying like this is basically just an MMO in essence. You have clans you can get in. I don't know if you've seen them in the menu, your guilds or whatever. And hopefully there's PvP. I think there's PvP in 3.
There is.
Is there?
There is. I'm not sure if it's related to endgame.
Right.
I know there's endgame content coming, but I'm not sure if the PvP is related to that. There's something to do with the endgame and PvP, but it's definitely in it.
I'm interested to see how we even fare with 3 because you like zombies and shit. Like COD zombies, you like wave based and trying to go harder difficulties or
I always love the thought of Diablo. I was like, Diablo, what a cool name. It's like obviously Diablo means the devil, doesn't it?
Mexican.
Mexico or something like that there. But then I looked at it and this was years ago, so it was probably like Diablo 2. I looked at it and I was like, that looks shit. I just looked at the game and it didn't even probably pay attention to it probably. I was like, no, that's not for me. I'm not playing that crap. But it was Minecraft Dungeons and I was like, this gameplay is awesome. And then you were like, all right, Diablo, it's like Diablo.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually had
I love it. I love getting all the loot and all, getting better loot, going and doing, like we were talking about the modes, the kind of difficulty set.
Torment.
Kieran was like Torment, and you'll get to a point where Torment is easy. It's like piss easy to you. And then does Diablo do it as well? Where like Minecraft would do it, it'd be like Torment plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, whatever, like out there.
Yep.
So that's the way I think in Minecraft Dungeons it's called Apocalypse. And I'm on like Apocalypse plus 15 or something on Minecraft Dungeons.
Yeah, just ups it that much because your gear's so overpowered.
It's class, and then that's how you get more gear by doing it, or maybe just doing like maybe a level or 2 higher than what you should be doing. So there's a bit more of a challenge.
But then,
you get even higher loot. Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? When I had my PC, I got a PC, like it must have been the year 2000, and we got a load of games with it, but not all of them worked. It was like there were copies, and I remember Diablo, and I was like, "What the fuck's this?" It wouldn't work, and it was Diablo and Half-Life wouldn't work, and I was like, thinking back now, I was like, imagine I played that in the year 2000, my life would be fucking over. I was like, I'd probably be the biggest fucking Half-Life fan now. But that's out in June, so I'm away in June, like June 22nd. I thank God it's out in like June 6th. I was looking today. So I'm excited to play that. I can't wait. So we'll play Diablo 3 and see what the crack is and if we do really enjoy it. But hopefully, like, we did play it last year, and to be honest, we didn't get too much into it. But
I didn't play it together.
No, I played it with Kieran and a few others.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it felt, I'll be honest, it was quite boring. But I've played Diablo in the past and had fun, but I just think it was just, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the character was. Sometimes you can, the guy who's tried to be the demon hunter, and I don't like projectiles. I need to be up and close and throwing it in their bake. Simple as that. Yeah. But I'm excited. Diablo 4 was very good. I'm excited for it, and
I'm gonna pre-order whatever deluxe one I need to. We'll get it early. I think it's June 2nd.
Yeah. So I have one game left to talk about. Bobby, I've been playing Remake, Resident Evil 4. Let me ask you first and foremost, are you going to play this? It's sitting there. It's ready to be plucked.
Yeah. I was planning on doing 2 and 3, but
what happened with that?
I don't know. It was meant to be this week. I just never played anything apart from Dread twice.
Right. So 2 and 4 or 2 and 3. 2 is horror, like it's survival horror. You'll hate it because you have to run some Mr. X, right? Does it lead? It leads a bit on 2-4, but really just a small backstory. You don't even need to play it, to be honest with you. But it's worth playing. 3 is more action based. It's not even really mentioned. Like 3, you don't even need to play. So the whole thing, and Kieran's going to listen to this, and he was messaging today. Is it a 1-to-1 or is it? What was it? What were we arguing about? It was like, can it be badly reviewed?
So he was saying that it's only reviewed well, pretty much because it's pretty much the same.
Right. So I played Resident Evil the first 5 hours.
That's why I couldn't feel.
Right. I've played this game the first 5 hours, honestly, probably about 4 or 5 times easy. So played it on PS4, played it on PC. I also played it on Oculus and my Switch. It's fantastic. So I would say about 40% of the areas from the original game are there, but then they're kind of like up-res, think of like a COD map where you have it looks a lot better. But then the rest is all new, how you get there, things that happen, it kind of plays with your expectations. But even things that happen in the game aren't the way they happened in the original. I think it's incredible. Now, the gunplay we said was a bit awkward. It doesn't seem as bad as it did, but but I said once I get used to it,
you played the demo on Xbox, which I actually said to you this week. There was problems with the, what do you call it, the dead zone on Xbox controllers, and I still don't think it's fixed. I think you have to use an Elite controller to fix that.
So I've seen people saying on this, by the way, people were slabbering about this on Reddit about the controls on both platforms. Like, they are 2 feels better from memory.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not as bad as I originally thought. Now, getting used to it is a big thing. Bobby, you'll love this game. So I think you should, I'm not going to tell you to play it because you know how that goes. Bobby doesn't play things you recommend. But if you were...
Oh, I will. I think I'll do 4, and then if I do take that, then I'll have 2, 3, and 7 there.
Oh, mate, do you know the thing is, the gunplay is great in terms of leveling up. So I'm playing it on normal. So I told you this, I'm not going to play a horror game on easy because I think it's intended for horror games, suspense. I'm just playing them how they're intended. You know, just Uncharted or anything, I don't give a fuck, right? So put it on normal. But by putting it on normal, the way this game works is there's upgrades in your weapons, you can craft ammo, but it is very much, if you think of Resident Evil 8, the way it was like that, but there's more emphasis on it. But I'm hunting and shit. I'm doing a lot of kind of side quests, and you get stuff to trade into your Fender to upgrade your weapons. And then if you upgrade a weapon, you don't want it no longer, you can sell it and you'll get all the value back, even from the upgrades that you spent. So it does kind of let you toy around with weapons. But when I said earlier about games like not being convenient with your time, this will highlight the things on the map where you've missed. So you walk past something, you didn't pick it up. I don't know if 7 did it that way, did it? Or 8, Village?
No.
Yeah, so like I can bring up my map and I'll say, oh, I missed ammo back there. Do you know what I mean?
No,
so
definitely not.
It's just very convenient for you to play, but it has a big emphasis on the action. Like, it's not like Dead Space. Like, Dead Space was spooky. This isn't, but it's fucking... I'm really enjoying it. I'm not playing it too much. Like, I'm not trying to go fucking 6 hours deep, but I was doing that, and then they've brought in like a wee shooting range, Bobby. And there's kind of wee tasks on the shooting range, so you can get kind of charms. And if you get like a high score in the shooting range, you can get a charm that gives you more bullets for every drop. So mate, you could spend a lot of time doing these because they're fucking hard. I spent about an hour last night doing the shooting range to get a charm that was rare, but it's like things like that. It's generally worth playing. So anyone who was on the fence with Resident Evil 4, or they played it before, or they think it's going to be too scary, I know for a fact everyone's giving it a 10 out of 10. I know for a fact it's fucking worth it because I'm enjoying it a lot. And in terms of wearing my glasses, I've been viewing things in 1080p because last night I put them on again. I was like, oh, the text actually has like markings on it that I never seen without my glasses. Just fucking, I'm just really hyped to play that, mate. So you've got that to give a go. You want to play it?
Yeah.
You're not going to play it, are you?
I will play it.
Where did you get to in the demo?
I got I think it was one of the first shooting scenes, and then I was like, fuck that, because the aiming was awful.
You might still think the aiming's awful, that's the only thing. But
yeah, I think I'll play about with a bit more though, try and get it.
I put my sensitivity up to normal, that's about it.
Where I would like it.
But the haptic feedbacks are pretty cool, like it's quite intuitive.
I'm quite high on sensitivity in most games, so I would maybe have to put it up and then try and change, fuck about with the acceleration.
Mm-hmm. See that team made 2, they made 2. I don't think it's the same team that made 3, but they made 2 and they made 4. Like, I hope, well, I don't know what I want them to do, if I want them to go back and make another remake 5. I never really played 5, did you?
I played a bit of 5, yeah.
Yeah, co-op, it was very co-op.
Start off your Chris. It's very more actiony. I think a lot of people didn't like it, but...
the racist simulator, you're just fucking slaughtering black people in Africa.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Friday night for Bobby. That's what he does after this podcast, by the way. Just goes and beats black people because he's racist. Usually that girl from Hogwarts. Bobby, have you anything to add?
No.
That was a
I do not.
beefy chat before we get into the news.
Yeah, and I only played Metroid.
I know. By the way, if you ever hear like I get a bit awkward talking about games because I feel like I'm talking too much and Bobby doesn't tend to ask me questions, so I'm just kind of talking like fucking non-stop.
I'm taking it all in.
You're huh? And I'm like, what else do I have to say? There's a little list. In short, play Resident Evil 4. I'm going to keep playing Hollow Knight, I think, and that's the way it's going to go. So next week, look forward to Resident Evil and Hollow Knight. All he says is an all-time lower fucking listeners. Anyway, moving on, we'll go into news and rumours. Item 1's a biggie. For me personally, as a big fan, Valve announces Counter-Strike 2. Bob, I didn't ask you, by the way. Do you want to do the news?
You work away, man.
You take no. We'll let you get you involved. I've been talking an awful lot. I'll sit back. Bobby's going to take over the news, guys, because I think I'm just being rude. Bobby, take it away, Aaron.
You're an arsehole.
Well, I just think this is your thing. I'm going to let you do the news from now on.
You're going to let me read all the beefy shit?
You love beefy. That's what I said. It's too much. My wee voice can't take too much.
Like, look at the amount of reading there is.
Go.
I'm not reading the fucking item 8. You can read that one.
Item 8, let me see. Jesus fuck. I'll read item 8. I'll make that deal, right? Jesus Christ.
Right. Fuck me. Valve announces Counter-Strike 2. CS2 is based on Valve's Source 2 engine and includes updates to some of the game's core mechanics, including improved smoke grenades and sub-tech updates that Valve says will let servers know the exact instant that motion starts. I can't read at all.
Oh my god, Bobby. Jesus, what are you doing?
I can't fucking read.
But.
I can't read.
Oh, fucking hell. I didn't know who's listening. What, are you going to do it again? We're starting?
No.
Am I going to have to take over here?
You do the first. I'll do the second one. We'll take it in turns.
All right, okay. So, item 1, Valve announces Counter-Strike 2. CS2 is based on Valve's Source 2 engine and includes updates to some of the game's core mechanics, including improved smoke grenades and sub-tick updates that Valve says will let servers know the exact instant that motion starts, a shot is fired, or a nade is thrown. A video also appears to show someone clearing grenade smoke with another grenade, which I'll talk about in a second. The game also have revamped maps, better visuals, UI enhancements, reworked audio, and more. Bobby, did you watch the trailers or did you just not even look at them?
No, didn't look at anything for CS.
Are you fucking joking me? Honestly, like a fucking one job. I like Counter-Strike.
Not that one.
I like Counter-Strike. I have 500 hours on CS:GO within a 6-month space. Probably.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I got really into it. Got really high ranked. Me and Johnny and all used to play. It's filled with hackers at the moment though, so I obviously went to Valorant. So if anyone doesn't know, Counter-Strike is kind of a team-based tactical shooter. It's been here since 1998. It was actually a mod for Half-Life. If you didn't know that, Bobby, there's a wee bit of trivia for you. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's that Day of Defeat as well. There was a load of games in Team Fortress. Are all mods from Half-Life. So
lots of games have came from just being a mod.
Yeah, Portal.
Certain other games, and yeah, things like that.
So yeah, so I actually don't know if Portal was a mod. That might be just anyone picks that up on that. But yeah, so you had Counter-Strike, then you had Counter-Strike 1.6, and then you had Source on the Source engine, which actually launched with Steam back in the day. And I had this, and this is before Steam became the big fucking digital front. Basically, Valve says if you want to play these games, just download it using the Steam launcher. And then you had CSGO, I think it was 2012. So what they've basically done is they're keeping the core game, essentially. Obviously, it's on the Source 2 engine, which Dota 2 went over to a few years back. So what they've done is they've revamped some maps, like it says here, better visuals, UI enhancements, and so on. So the sub-tick updates, essentially what that's going to be good for is, before you had something called tick rate in games. So for example, you see someone shoot, that'll basically ping to the server when the action was taken. There's a bit of a delay. It was never consistent. So at least with this, what they're saying is, no matter what, now you'll get that consistency. So better network, basically, which is good for a competitive shooter. But the main thing here and it sounds so sad to be excited about, is the smoke. So if you throw a smoke grenade in the game, it'll deform around objects. So before it was like just smoke over whatever.
Just like a cloud of smoke.
So it can deform. But if you throw a grenade and it blows up, it can puff the smoke out of the way. So you can then see enemies behind the smoke. So it gives you a bit more tactical. But even at that, say in the game, in terms of Counter-Strike, when you do play very competitive, there's a meta. So if you're on a certain map, it might be normal principle to throw a smoke to stop their entrance coming into sight. So beforehand, you're a bit screwed because you're going to run out and no one can see you. But what they can do now is you can shoot through smoke. And what it does, it opens like a wee hole.
Disperse it a wee bit?
Yeah, it opens a hole and you can see the player. So there's so much more kind of tactical advantages it could be to shooting through smoke or not shooting through smoke that wasn't there before. So it kind of changes the dynamic of kind of strategy, which is great. So that was a big one. It seems they're keeping, because the whole thing with Counter-Strike Global Offensive now, it went free to play. You can actually buy weapons in the game and sell them. So what was that called? A lot of people were doing, it wasn't NDA, it was, what's it called? You were buying digital goods and being able to sell them, the property of it. NFTs.
Yes, NFTs.
Yeah, non-fungible tokens for anyone who's fucking never heard of it. Basically, what Counter-Strike does has NFTs. So Johnny, for example, bought him a knife worth £200 and then sold it for real money that you can actually sell
Yeah,
on Steam.
there's a podcast talking about this here during the week, and there's like skins and stuff for like £1,000.
Yeah, and there's loot crates. There's proper gambling, like, and I've opened them. I've
insane.
bought keys. I've actually bet on Counter-Strike matches. So Bobby, the main question for you is you don't like PC gaming because you're not good at it. Okay, you're not like me who's good at everything.
No,
I am.
no. I'm not backwards.
Okay, right. We'll get into this in a second. You like Valorant. There's too many keys for little old Bobby. Too many skills.
Yes.
Too many abilities, which is, to be fair, I think you're spot on this. There's a lot of abilities. There's a lot of variables. What I like about Counter-Strike is there's a lot less variables in terms of, I'm this player. I have to counter this agent. There's a lot less knowledge base that's needed, essentially.
Yeah.
Compared to Valorant in that regard, but there's still a lot of knowledge needed. Are you going to give it a go then?
Yes, I will give this a go because, like you said, there's none of all the abilities in Valorant. That's kind of one. Like when we played in Valorant, I didn't use any abilities whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a learning curve in that sense.
I'm not obviously used to playing keyboard and mouse. My aiming and all's fantastic on the mouse, but it's the keyboard.
See what people don't realize about Counter-Strike in these games. It's very easy to understand that you go in, you shoot, and you defuse a bomb. But there's a whole meta that most people don't know. So there's an economy in the background. So first round, you use pistols. Whoever wins that round gets a bigger match bonus. That allows them to buy better weapons. The guys who don't get as much bonus, they typically do something called eco, which means they then just buy pistols again or lower value guns. So then you're expected to lose like the first few rounds. But you have strategies in terms of, I know where to throw a smoke grenade to that maybe be far away from sight where you're going to plant, and then these guys will be smoked, and you're like looking, maybe where you spawn, you're looking up there at the certain pinpoint area, you can throw a smoke and it'll reach that bomb site where people would typically be.
Yeah.
And there's flashes and all like things like that. So there is strategy, and that is in depth, but that's all learning down the line. But honestly, I think it's great.
Now, people can play it now. Some people can.
I've seen this, yeah. Some people
have
say
access to it, but I wasn't sure on how you get it or who gets it.
I was going to report this. I think certain people are saying it's leaked and the shit like this or single player.
This is replacing CSGO, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a free update.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a Overwatch 2 scenario.
Yeah, my only concern is, will it fix the hacking? Because if you want to play this game properly right now, the only way to play it where there's no real hackers is by paying an ESEA or there's Face It, which is what we used to do, where they had their own better servers for higher tick rate.
Private.
But it was more competitive, but there was no hackers. Well, because there was hackers, but they maybe didn't want to pay. Most people wouldn't pay the £4 fee a month to play on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my mate Ian, big Counter-Strike fan back in the day, 42 years old, turned to me and I showed him that. And he goes, "I'm banning a game PC." He's like, "I don't care." Yeah, he goes, "I'm banning a game PC and play it. I'll play with you." 100%.
But wouldn't need anything too beefy anyway. I don't think to play.
No, but he used to play us back in the day, clan and all. Like this is the thing, mate. It's like proper serious. Whereas we can play Call of Duty, but it's casual. But if you want to get good and get serious, like me, Bobby, and or not me, Bobby, me, Kieran and Brett. Obviously, me and Brett took it quite serious last year with Valorant. But that's what I think console misses compared to PC, where you'll get those kind of hardcore people that want to learn the game.
Yeah. No, I'm down to try it, like 100%.
Yeah. So what? I think it's summertime anyway.
Yeah, it's not far off.
And mate, say honestly, it'll look good. It flows nicely in terms of the frame rate. I need to play more on this PC because I got this monitor and haven't fucking used it once. But when I did play Valorant on it, mate, 175 FPS was
We're
nice.
sitting here with big fucking beefy RTX cards and not using them.
No. Did you see Linus reviewed a 500 hertz monitor?
Holy shit.
He said it was incredible. Like, he says it's fucking insane.
Could you see it? Like, could you see the difference?
He said you could. Obviously, it's like he says it's like going to a supercar and then getting the faster supercar. It's obviously it's not.
Yeah, because I find jumping from 30 to 60 massive. Jumping from 60 to 120 big, but not as big as the jump from 30 to 60.
Yeah, I can tell. Like,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think after 144, it's kind of even using like 175 or whatever it says, 185. It's kind of like it's better, but how much better?
Yeah.
So there's two.
How much can your eyes actually see? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. So, Bobby, item 2, round her up.
Yep. Venom voice actor talks Spider-Man 2 release date. Tony Todd has taken to Twitter, claiming Insomniac is more specifically looking to launch it this September. Beneath a photo of himself in a motion capture rig, Todd responded to fans' enthusiastic tweet that Spider-Man 2 can't come quick enough by writing, looks like September. Massive publicity coming in August. Commercials start dropping in August, so I'm told. Hold on to your ... and hold breath. Going to be necessary. I don't know
Well,
what the fuck that
tell you
means.
who can come quick enough. Myself. Typically very quick on the ejaculation front. I'm not even joking.
Fantastic.
It's one of those things, mate. It's personal. So Tony Todd, I said to you, anyone who doesn't listen, who likes horror films, you've got the Candyman. That's the guy who played him in the 90s film, and also the remake. Did you watch the remake? Or the reboot?
No, I must remake. No,
The reboot? Oh, it was pretty good.
was it good?
Oh, it was alright.
Was it?
Yeah. I'm interested in Scream, by the way, the sequel. But I didn't like last
Still not
year's
watched
one.
it?
No, I still not watched that. I might try and do
That is
it.
good.
So interesting. How
Accurate.
why do they keep doing this? Fucking
See, in movies, they're very much more open in release dates than video games.
I know they're a bunch of fucking retards here, these voice actors.
So, like all these big voice actors that are big movie stars, whatever, they coming in might not know how like tight knit these games are. If you know what I mean, like in terms
Surely
of release date,
they
keeping things quiet.
Are told. Surely they're
They've
like,
probably told, but I like. Is
He's-
it one of those things where it's like in small writing and he just signs it and doesn't realize?
he's 67. They're fucking, I don't know what happens.
Because I mean, quite a few of these. I think it was Roman Reedus, wasn't it? That
Yeah,
what's it called? Or Norman Reedus. Sorry.
Yeah.
He says that they're working on another Death Stranding. This was like well over a year ago before the second one was even announced.
Do you know what I think happens? Do you ever like, I don't know if it's you, but do you ever like talk to your parents and stuff now and they're a bit older, but they become a bit more retarded? Like they go a bit backwards. Like my dad literally, he grew a chromosome, like the things he'll say to you and stuff. You're like, what are you on about? Like you're just stupid. Like they just don't think, these old people. So I'm thinking this guy's like nearing 70. Probably not a fucking clue what
Yeah,
fucking dad is.
he's old. Like
What do you think about him playing Venom, by the way?
interesting. I actually didn't know it was him.
Yeah, here he's a unique voice.
Yeah, I think he can pull it off. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of audio work done as well to get his voice, but I'd imagine
Get whose voice? Oh, that way.
Venom. Yeah, I've
Venom.
just to get that proper.
Give us
Venom.
it. Do your Venom accent.
Oh fuck me! I need to take a drink now.
Go. Yeah, nothing like fizzy Magners to fucking get your throat lubricated. Venom.
Hold on. Throat's gone.
You just
Hold on
practiced.
there.
You just practiced.
Yeah, just I know practice, but the throat's gone. Can't do
do
it.
it. Do it. Come on.
80. No, what's wrong? See, that's what I mean. My throat's fucked. I can actually do quite a good Eddie.
Right, go.
No, my throat's fucked.
No.
I can't do it.
Okay. Yeah. So what? Right. So it looks like September then. Massive publicity coming in August. When are we? If it's out in September, when are we getting their state of play?
I think we'll maybe get it before June, end of May.
June, July, August. There was someone else. Was it not your own fault? The guy who does the voice of Peter Parker said something about this as well quite recently, about this year, 2023, and he's going back in for a few reshoots or whatever, but it's gonna be this year, isn't it? Like from what everyone's saying.
The game?
So,
The
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's due for fall. Is that what you want to call it? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. So
So September. I think I actually said September, but could get it September because I think the last one.
it was
wasn't it
September,
September?
yeah. September.
Yeah, so that's what I was
2018.
saying. I think it was last week. Was it? We were talking about Starfield release date the week before. Because we
what-
could be going head to head.
5 years, 2018 it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2018. Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't 2019, it was 20. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was 2018, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, September, hopefully. Anyway.
I'm so excited.
So Kieran's never played Dunch. Like, obviously, once again, we talk about Kieran a lot in this show, but he doesn't play. He hasn't played Spider-Man. Thinks it'd be repetitive. I played that on easy and actually enjoyed it more playing it on normal.
It's not repetitive if you don't do the side stuff. Side stuff repetitive. Yes, I got the platinum in it and got the platinum PS5 version and Miles Morales as well.
Yeah, Miles Morales was
Yes.
good. You cried.
Miles Morales is fantastic.
You cried your Bobby tears.
Very close to at the end.
Don't lie. You gurned.
Very close to.
You
That was
gurned.
very upsetting. This is my most anticipated this year. Like 100%. There's not anything come close to it.
Diablo.
Apart from Diablo now.
Well, what else we got? We got Diablo. We got that. We got
I mean,
Fantasy-
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for Jedi and all too, and Dead
Final Fantasy
Island.
16. We have Final Fantasy 7 Remake, which both.
Final Fantasy 16, I will try. I know you're getting it. I'll try it. It might hit because of the kind of fantasy aspect to it.
I don't think remakes come out this year. It's supposed to be winter this year. I'm guarantee you.
Rebirth.
Not come out this year.
I
This
lock.
last one was 2020, and this
Yeah.
is not be.
I maybe they said winter, so but that falls into like January and February as well for the next year.
Yeah, and with Breath of the Wild too, or Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah,
Tears of the
look out for
Kingdom.
that. That's out in September. Bobby, I'll let you take it away for item 3.
Suck my ball bag.
Okay, that was a bit rude.
CMA softens concerns over Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, has provisionally concluded that Microsoft's proposed Activision Blizzard deal will not result in substantial lessening of competition in console gaming services because the cost to Microsoft of withholding Call of Duty from PlayStation would outweigh any gains from taking such action. CMA has concerns around cloud gaming market, but a key issue over Call of Duty has now been addressed.
Okay,
So
explain like I'm 5.
this is pretty much it was the main concern. The CMA were the kind of ones that were going to be the ball bags here in the deal.
Are they
the ones
US based or UK?
No, they're the UK ones. They were the
CMA?
ones that's going to be
Okay.
complete cocks. And their main concern was that about competition, because obviously Sony's been egging on like, oh, this is bad for competition, but it's not. It's just bad for them.
Yep.
For their fucking bottom dollar, isn't it? But so that's gone. The cloud is their last concern, but Microsoft pretty much solved that now too. We talked about this last week possibly about all the cloud deals that they're making. They've done it with Nvidia. They've done it with some again with B and then Ubitus as well. So it's going through now. Like that's it.
The one thing I
think-
said to you, well,
Do you think Jim's texted Phil and said, "Listen, I was only joking about that 10-year deal. I actually will take it now."
that looks good. That
It's
10-year deal.
fucked. Done that? That looks
Yeah.
alright.
They'll think they'll still put it on PlayStation now. Well, that's probably going to be the agreement anyway, isn't it? Like with
There
the
was something else that came out, and now I didn't put this in the news, but I think I still have it here somewhere. But give me 2 seconds.
well, while you're doing that, the only thing I want to say is if they don't give us a Tony Hawk's Underground remake, we rat.
I think under Microsoft, the chances of getting all this stuff's going to be a lot higher now.
Will
lot
Call of
higher.
Duty suffer?
No, and if anything, I think it'll thrive.
Yeah, thrive like thrush.
And the reason why is because they were talking about doing we've talked about this fucking, I don't know how
Well, the
many
3
times,
year
but
kind of.
yeah, so each developer, instead of having 3 years, they'll have 6 years.
Can we ban this chat from any time until it actually gets the go ahead? Fuck me. I'm sure everyone else is bored of hearing about it. Call of Duty, Activision.
That's mountain. I've just fucking deleted it there. But yeah, so Microsoft pretty much said that 10 years is sufficient enough time for Sony to develop a competitor to COD.
It's true. Sony, get your fucking wee pants up and start getting on it. Get the Gorilla guys.
100% true. We
Well-
don't even know how relevant COD will be in 10 years. I'm sure it will be just as relevant, but they've pretty much says, Sony can do it in 10 years, 100%.
Yeah, I'm surprised your head's not on fire, by the way. You have fucking Pulse headset on an Xbox hat. It's like fucking.
Yeah.
It's like banging some girl's wife
Got
or
my
husband.
Sea of Thieves t-shirt
Sea
on
of
too.
Thieves. Yeah, you're all over the place. Yeah, so look, that I think let's please end it there. God, I don't want to talk about this fucking thing anymore. It kills me.
I
But
think
yes,
there's going to be bigger news next week as well.
with what?
A couple of Microsoft employees says something about keeping the news coming for next week. Wait to see when it happens next week. So I think we're going to get some more.
About this?
Yeah.
Oh my God. God help us all. Hopefully it's somewhat interesting because it's getting boring now, I like to be honest with you, which we've said about. But anyway, moving on. Item 4, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's gameplay will change the game world, the producer reportedly says. In a series of tweets that have now been deleted, Genkai Japan quotes Enuma, he's a director of the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. In the sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, furthermore, the player's free imagination will be filled with new gameplay that will bring about changes to the game world. It was also claimed that Enuma said he hoped everyone would be pleasantly surprised by these changes and would enjoy exploring Hyrule in an unknown state. So, bit interesting because a lot of the talk was, but from what they showed us, the game world looked identical apart from the sky sections to Breath of the Wild. Now, bear in mind, so Breath of the Wild was 2017, March 17th, 2017, I believe, right? That is the longest release from a Zelda game, I believe, in history. From a mainline Zelda game. in history. So
From Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah, and it's using the same world. Now, do you think they're using the same world, or do you think with this as well, because he's saying, oh, pleasantly surprised, unknown state, do you think we're in for a big surprise here, or do you think it's just going to be more of the same? Because I would have thought, oh, it's just going to be more of the same. I don't know how you would do it because it doesn't make sense. I know there's the Sky Kingdom kind of thing.
See, I obviously haven't played Breath of the Wild, so I don't know what way they could change it story wise. Are they going to like drastically change something, maybe a bit into the game to change it up to kind
Now,
of shock you? Or
if anyone's played, so A Link to the Past came out, and that was on the SNES, right? I believe it might have been 2013, they brought out Link Between Worlds, which actually used the exact same world from A Link to the Past, but like 20 years future. So it can be done. They've done something similar. And to be fair, even then, like, it's not too much of a disparity. But maybe they're doing it where it's a massive just upheaval from what we've seen before. But I'd be like, how do you come and improve upon Breath of the Wild? Is kind of the only thing. Like, what do you do different enough? Because this is like
yeah,
the
because
first.
they would have to kind of what are they going to bring new to the table?
Yeah, because
Kind
it's
of thing.
and where does it go for? Because I remember last time, like, you were thinking, well, where does Zelda go from here? Because it's
Is
so
it story,
different.
is there a good story in it?
No,
No.
Zelda's not really like. There's just it's not really there for the story. Like, it's Nintendo style of things. It's like Dread or
Just gameplay, good gameplay.
yeah, just good gameplay, and you don't really care. Like, I don't, but it's bizarre. It's like, where do you go? Like, honestly, like, trying to think about what the change will be.
It's tough if there's no like really good story because I had that thing thinking from like God of War going to Ragnarok, like what can they do to make it as good, up to par as 2018.
But it's a story. It's the
What's
only thing they can improve on.
Which they did. To me, they did, and they added a certain weapon you get into it. I don't want to spoil it if anybody hasn't played it, but they added that and kind of changed it up a wee bit, the gameplay using that. But
So imagine this, right? Imagine the sequel to God of War Ragnarok, or the God of War Ragnarok, was set in the exact same location, and was very little dependent on story. Like, what are you going to do to kind of push it a step further? Like, is a wee tiny? They need to have a major kind of change up, and I think maybe they're keeping things quite close to their chest here because they haven't shown us very much.
yeah,
So they're all saying you're going to be pleasantly surprised. It's been what, 6 years? Fuck me, like,
must be a lot of pressure like for them,
Big
pumping
time.
out of games like so high
mm-hmm.
and having to follow up on that
Yeah, and to be fair, like,
and do it on a Switch.
that's the thing, mate.
Like imagine if they had technology like a PS5, like how stunning that world would look and how it would play it like.
Mate, they're just so back. Like, honestly, I remember getting the Wii U and it was like, finally HD games, and that was in 2013.
It's a sin, like, isn't it? Like the damn games can't come to them something like a PS5.
It is, but it's like, do you
That's
need the you may think, do you need the graphics?
Don't need
but, then
it. You don't.
but then you play Zelda on PC and you're thinking, fuck this.
Yeah,
is...
like it's a big difference, like in terms of the thing. But obviously, I don't know.
I don't
It's
know
just-
why they don't care about powerful hardware. They never have. But I think maybe the GameCube.
Now, what was the GameCube? The GameCube was on par, wasn't it?
But the GameCube released a bit later than everything else.
Like,
That was
because I can remember
2002.
playing the WWE games for Day of Reckoning 2, and they're some of the best wrestling games there was, and they looked stunning, and they still look quite good.
So the GameCube released in 2001, 2002
Same
in
year as
the UK.
Xbox, then.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. I think it was maybe a bit more powerful than the PlayStation.
It was very good, like graphic wise, it was up there.
Yeah, but it's like that it's not what they go for. But at the same, like,
No.
this is a really kind of important thing: is what the fuck are you going to do here? Because, and like, what's the future of Zelda? Do you just keep doing this kind of mantra of open world? Because I'll be honest, I kind of like, I wanted them to do something different. So we got Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild, but if it's just going to be more of the same, I'm going to be a bit disappointed. But I personally think it's going to be major changes, and they're just holding it close. But we're what, 2 months away,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had a gameplay trailer, or a small brief trailer, and not much. So look out for that. So Bobby, the next two, I'm gonna squish them together because it's kind of like it's all about Redfall anyway. So item 5, okay. Arcane is looking to remove online from Redfall. This is a rumor. An official FAQ for the game published last month revealed that while
No,
players...
it's a fact.
Oh, is it a fact now?
Yeah, sorry, it's a fact. Yeah.
See, I seen a rumor and then I seen someone saying it's not confirmed, but I didn't even look up.
No, I actually know a bit of the story to it, so if you want to continue, then I'll follow it in.
Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll condense it also. An official FAQ. Basically, well, in short, last week, or 2 weeks ago or whatever, me and Bobby were talking about Redfall needing always online connection. That now seems to have been backpedaled by Arcane. And it's also came to light that Microsoft has scrapped a PS5 version of Redfall, says the Arcane director. So Redfall was also in development for PS5 before Microsoft acquired Bethesda. According to the game's director, this version was ultimately cancelled and the game became exclusive to Microsoft platforms. We got bought by Microsoft and that was a huge sea change. They said no PS5, now we're going to do Game Pass, Xbox and PC, as expected. So what did you hear? Obviously, I heard rumblings, but I didn't know if it was confirmed or not.
Yeah, so they are looking into removing the always online, and it's not there because a lot of people are thinking like they're going to try and monetize it, and because we were even thinking that too, they're going to sell us battle passes and they're going to sell us skins maybe and guns and things like that. But that's not the reason why it's there. The reason why it's there is so that they can track
Server
things
side
like
saves. Server side saves.
like yeah, and things like see if there's there's a ladder. They actually use this as an example. There's a ladder and people keep falling off it and dying. Then they can be like, right, there's a problem here.
Yeah.
So they can track how many deaths there's been on this ladder. You know, as an example. So that's why they have the tag there, the always online tag, so they can see things like that and change it up. So
Sure,
it's
they can
kinda
still
like
get that data from it not even being always online.
yeah, they'll maybe have to do something, but or maybe like when they maybe they can do it where whenever someone does go on, let's be honest, everybody's going to have an online connection playing this, but it's more to do with that there, so that they can track certain deaths and fuck, that's not right. People's dying falling off this ladder, like fucking, there's thousands of deaths here, so there's something clearly wrong with how this is designed, so they can go in and fix it.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to do with trying to monetize the game in any way.
So you don't
kind of
think
giving off about?
you don't think maybe this was the case that they were going to monetize it and Microsoft just totally backpedaled because there was also, I don't know, I think it was confirmed they removed microtransactions from the online and an online store from the game also.
I think I would have rather that been in there.
I think they've just backpedaled, to be honest, Bobby.
Think so?
Fuck your ladder. They're not climbing no ladder. But this is what I will say, right? So I'm mostly playing the Switch a lot. Logan has my account on his Switch. I have a lot of games, so I can game share with that one. Now, I don't know. To be fair, he uses my account, so this is most likely the case. I've always thought that the Switch worked differently than the PS5 and so on. He hasn't got his own kind of account, but I'm trying to play the SNES Online emulator, and you needed an online collection, and it was annoying me because I kept getting kicked off. Now, could you go on and go offline, and then it works for a week? Yes. Did I know this at the time? No. But I was like really annoyed by this, and I was like, fuck, actually, maybe if you do have annoying internet or something like that, you know, it could be annoying, like it could affect you. But I think in this day and age, it's not, if a game's going to always be online, it doesn't bother me. You should look at Diablo. A lot of games need to be online for server saves, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They're saving your progress, so I don't mind that.
It's just people giving off about it just because it's something that they're like, why should it be here? Why do I have to be online?
Yeah, and in terms of being scrapped for PS5,
That's fucking out. If PlayStation bought them, you can fucking bet your ass that the Xbox version would be cancelled. 100%.
I don't get why. I don't get it. It's not really big news, is it? But there you are. It was going to go to PS5.
Yeah,
So-
of course it was. Sure, so was Starfield. Sure, like I said, I think fucking loads of podcasts ago, I said that PlayStation were trying to get Starfield exclusivity.
Yeah.
So
There you are. That's out
that's what it is. It's
pretty
business.
soon. We're all hyped for Redfall. Looks really good. So that's out
Yeah.
soon. Bobby, I like to
Previews
take...
were very high on it. Actually, sorry, just to add, the previews were quite high on it.
Oh, really? What were people saying?
They only got to play single player,
Right.
but it is very much Far Cry.
Oh, is it? It's Far Cry like?
Yeah, very much Far Cry.
Depends how it controls, like how the shooting is then. Because Far Cry shooting's not fantastic.
The shooting's meant to be very good. Like, I know, like, you've had your issues with arcane shooters, the way it feels and all, but I actually told you how to fix that with the aim acceleration. So loads of people have said that there about Deathloop, like the aiming's all off, but it is easily fixed. So once I got that fixed, the shooting was phenomenal. So I'm actually really excited to play Redfall.
Well,
My only annoyance is the co-op doesn't work the way I want it to.
what ways it work?
It's not like if I'm in a story and you come and join me, we can go off and do. It's very much untethered. Like we can go off and do our own things,
Right.
but
Doesn't say progress for both?
doesn't save your
Yeah, we
progress.
talked about this. Yeah, it's a bit shit.
It'll save your character and stuff like that, but not your story, which is kind of annoying because it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
We
no.
want to go through it together.
We spoke about that. Yeah. So that's out soon. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. Bob, I'll let you take item 7. It's a wee short one.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings Gollum gets May release date. The Lord of the Rings Gollum, which will launch on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC on May 25th, with Nintendo Switch version scheduled for sometime later this year. The gameplay will feature a blend of stealth and action as Gollum sneaks around Middle-earth. The game will also have players making choices to align with either the character's darker side, Gollum, or his gentle half, known as Smeagol. The developers have said that the game's taken inspiration directly from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy rather than Peter Jackson's film adaptations of the books.
Adaptations. You fucking pleb. Adaptations. You were in the A class, weren't you?
Adaptations. Yeah,
How?
the whole time too.
The whole time. Jesus.
The whole fucking time. English wasn't my strong suit.
Yeah, well, they probably wanted to keep you away from the D class for certain reasons.
Still
That was
passed
spoke
it,
about
like,
yesterday.
but
Getting locked down. Well, we'll talk about that, and that's maybe one for a banter room podcast with Bobby, and let's just say he likes people with extra chromosomes. Anyway, so
fucking
do
hell.
you want me to? I'm not even gonna read what you wrote in that text about people's fan. Right, we'll read. We'll get into this. We'll get into this. Talk about people's
So,
vaginas.
what trailer did you watch for Gollum?
Story trailer?
Story one.
I have seen
Right.
stuff in the past, but fuck me, Gollum looks like Tommy Pickles. Fucking hell.
I watched the story one there before the podcast, and I also watched IGN's 4-minute preview
Right.
of gameplay.
Now, before you start, I want to say something. I remember hearing about this before, like the PS5 was really a thing, and they're like, "Oh, there's a Gollum game coming to next gen," and it was like, "What the fuck? Next gen? Fucking looks like it's a PS3 game."
Yeah.
What do
Doesn't
you?
look great.
So, what's your impressions?
So I'm down to try it.
Right, are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
Yeah.
Okay, if you were in Lord of the Rings, who would you be? 100% Gimli, by the way. You are Gimli.
What? Oh man,
Quite small. You have a beard and you have baby feet.
Gandalf? No, I have size 10 feet.
You sent us a picture, and
Yes.
I actually sent it to Lindsay, and she says that is infant's feet. That is newborn. You got
It's just the way of the way the photo looked.
you got those newborn fucking.
I have
Kebs.
big feet. My
Show me-
fucking eldest son has
Show me
big
your feet. Show us your feet.
I don't even know if I can. This is turning you on, isn't it?
There's a thing that you think I like feet.
You do like feet? It's
I
on
don't.
fucking the banter room TikTok.
I don't. My manager does, which is true, and he tells me about it. He also sent me a picture of Lindsay's feet.
I'm not.
Clean your feet. Oh, right,
They're
okay.
clean.
Mate, stop wiggling your toes. It's fucking weird.
You like that?
No, I don't. Do you know what that reminded me of? Do you remember the lollipops you used to get? It was Bigfoot. It was like white.
Oh yeah.
That was literally what I thought about. Not that I'm thinking about your food as a lolly from my mouth.
Yeah, I
That'd be
bet
fucking
you
weird.
are.
Would you ever suck a toe, mate?
No.
I'd be rotten, wouldn't it? I remember hearing a story about someone.
That's just pretend. That's like fucking one of those things you do. You've done something really fucking bad here. Could you imagine doing that?
No, I
And
look.
then someone says, "Oh no, that's disgusting." Oh yeah, I definitely wouldn't
No,
do that.
listen. I slag my manager because he actually does like feet, and he keeps sending me pictures of Lindsay's shoes and pictures with me and stuff. Being a weirdo.
Why is he sending you it for? Because he
'Cause
knows
he
you like it
sla-
too.
No, I fucking don't like it. It's fucking bogging.
Oh here, look at these cabs.
I don't like legs either. I'm a bum guy. Don't care about boobs. Bum guy. Right. So anyway, you showed us your fucking size 2. Tiny feet, by the way.
Size 10.
There was some residue on your foot there. You need to get like something to like shave that down. Some, what do you call it? Like a corn? Look like.
There's no fucking corns in my
I'm
feet.
joking.
My
I don't
feet are
say it about.
spotless.
I'm joking. Right. You have bigger feet than your picture does, but I honestly thought you took a picture of an infant's foot. It was tiny.
No, I genuinely, I actually got the piss taken of me in school because I would have football boots and they would have been size 11 to fit me.
It's just size 10 feet. Why'd you have 7
But I was
boots?
small, because there were certain football, but whatever ones you got, there was ones that were usually quite small fitting, so I had to go a size up. So I was like fucking 5 foot walking about like clown feet with clown feet.
Yeah, you're definitely got hobbit feet on you, like, because
Like
you're smaller. And
my
you've got
eldest
big-
is 12 and he's like near, he think he's size 7 already.
Fuck me. Right, okay. Well, like, in terms of this game, yeah, Smeagol, it looks like Stray a bit. It's Stray in fucking Middle Earth, but
Looks very indie.
don't know. Who's actually making it?
So the gameplay, fuck, I can't even remember who's making it, but the gameplay didn't look too bad.
It looks okay.
whole-
Like, it looks playable.
It's not really a good and bad. You don't have like a system like, you know, like Mass Effect or anything like that. There's nothing like that. But I think as you make choices, so there's in the wee preview there was one where you you got told to stay and wait somewhere by, I don't know who it was, one of the guys from Lord of the Rings. He says stay and wait there. So you can make a choice. You could either do what Smeagol would do, which would be stay and wait, or you could do Gollum, which is go and sneak off.
Aye.
So the more you choose them kind of, say you more you say about Gollum, the more he'll actually come out in cutscenes and interactions rather than Smeagol.
So you're gonna play as Gollum then, basically, because you're always content
I'm
games.
100% Gollum.
Yeah. You look like him.
It looks quite interesting. There's a lot of sneaking out. There's a lot of traversal, a lot of climbing and things like that. I think he actually compared it to Uncharted with the climbing in IGN's. He actually did. So he's with the climbing and stuff like that there.
I actually might like it, thanks. I do like that in games.
It doesn't look too bad. It looks quite good.
So there was a Lord of the Rings. So if you remember back in 2002, right? So the Two Towers came out, and what they ended up doing for that was EA had made the Two Towers game, and they did a like brief recap. So the Two Towers starts on during the Fellowship on the top of Weathertop, where you're fighting the Nazguls or whatever they're called, the fucking walkers or whatever, and then you go to Moira, whatever it is, Moira, whatever the fuck, not Moira down in County Antrim, but anyway, you go there. So they kind of did a recap of the Fellowship, but there was also a game that actually came out, which was the full Fellowship game, made by a wee dopey party, like third party, but it was really good. So
Yeah.
this isn't like kind of not normal for, and it was the way they had to do it was they had to make it based on the token books, which this is obviously happened now. So this is how they got around, I'm guessing, Warner Brothers, because they own the rights to the films, but not necessarily the books. So who is, Bobby, have a wee look at that. Jimmy, pull that shit up. Who wrote it? Making it?
Daldalik?
What was their last game?
Daedalic? I'm going to try and find that out now.
Stray.
Daedalic Games.
Diddle-lick.
Okay, so it doesn't look... Fuck me, it doesn't look very good. Top 20 games here from them. We've got The Night of the Rabbit, Shift Happens, Decay, Shadow Tactics.
I've heard of Shadow Tactics.
Very, very much indie.
Right.
So that's kind of what we're getting
fuck?
vibes from the gameplay and stuff.
Right, and we got a date on that. That's May, so that's 2 months as well. So
Yeah,
if I was,
I'm interested in it.
should
After watching it,
should Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild 2, Zelda be worried?
no, I don't think so.
There you are. Imagine this game
I don't
fucking
think so.
slaps. Imagine it comes out, it's like tens.
Your man, like on IGN, he wasn't completely down on it. He says it's like from what he got from the preview, it was quite optimistic.
Yeah, like a more
So-
Middle Earth, more Middle Earth.
I'm down to wait and see. Like,
Talking about Middle Earth, the guys who made Shadow of War, Monolith, what the fuck are they
Monolith, yeah.
working on?
Wonder Woman.
Fuck, when was that announced? That was ages ago.
It's maybe about 2 years ago.
Fucking hell.
At one of them DC Dome things.
That's mental. That's 6 years since
2 years ago.
Shadow of War 2.
That could be a banger. Like they get that right. Absolute
Yeah.
banger.
There you go, Wonder Woman. Anyway, we'll move on. Item 8. Fascinating game, by the way. Lego 2K Drive announced. Lego 2K Drive will combine the best elements of open world driving and fast-paced competitive racing while introducing a diverse vehicle customization system. So bear in mind, this game actually looks fucking incredible. Key features: a story in a fast open world. Players will journey across Bricklandia's multiple unique biome regions as they compete against a series of charismatic rivals with hopes of one day winning the coveted Sky Cup trophy. You can choose to how they want to play with a wide open world to explore full of racing, minigames, challenges, collectibles, and things to destroy, and well-known vehicles from the LEGO games. High-octane LEGO racing. Racing in LEGO 2K Drive is fast-paced, off-the-wall experience as players battle across a broad range of tracks while taking advantage of power-up abilities, which is quite cool, that can transform a player standing in the race with the touch of a button. Think of like Mario Kart, I'm guessing, but maybe not so much. Unique customization, so you can build your own vehicles to suit your taste with over 1,000 Lego pieces available over the course of their adventure, in addition to a wealth of colour design, stickers, flares and more. And final, but not least, play solo or together. 2K Drive offers robust co-op and thrilling competitive multiplayer to enjoy with others. Bobby,
Yes.
were you surprised at how good this game looked? Did you think it looked
I
good?
actually was. Yeah, I watched the trailer before the podcast, and it looks stunning, doesn't it?
I mean, it looks
Like, it looks
incredible,
really, really good.
and it just looks
Really
like
good.
fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember how I said here, like, with games like Need for Speed, where it's just, it's racing and they have the kind of shortcuts and things. I'm hoping it kind of feeds into that with the wee races where it's a bit more like an old style kind of arcade racer in that sense with the things. But obviously there's open world sections as well. But it looks incredible. Fucking Lego pieces are
Story
going
as
everywhere.
well. There's a story. It looks it actually looks very good. It looks very fun.
Who's
I'm a
making
fan.
this?
Oh fuck, I don't know. I'll find out now.
Could be a Game Pass game, Bobby.
See, to be honest, I might wait because I think it probably will come to Game Pass.
Now, in terms of Lego, have you ever played the Lego games at all?
I used to play quite a lot of them.
I had Lego Star Wars. I bought that one there, the one that just released.
Visual concepts. That's who's making it.
Haven't heard of them.
So let's see what they've done.
Well, I bought the Skywalker Saga. Haven't played it. I don't really get into the Lego games, but that Lego City Undercover and all is supposed to be phenomenal. I bet you it's them. I bet you it's the Lego City Undercover guys.
So they do WWE, 2K20, NBA, 2K23.
The price support on it.
Current games, Dreading the Force. Current games.
Well, what I'll do, wait to see. So Lego City Undercover devs.
My kids play that, quite like that. Yeah, so they've done the WWE games and the past two NBA.
Okay, I'm wrong. So TT Fusion actually made that. So no. So they're okay. So they haven't actually any things with.
I
racing.
like the DC ones. The DC super villain one. Lego.
Yeah.
You
Well,
make your own character.
Actually, if anyone's listening to this who doesn't really even fancy Lego games, just watch the trailer, and I think everyone will be kind of pleasantly surprised because it just looks like great crack. Now, I'm in the same camp as you. Am I going to go out and bat? Probably not. But if everyone's kind of going on about it, then I might kind of check it out because I looked at it, it was kind of like very optimistic. Which
It's coming to Switch.
fuck 30 FPS, no thanks.
If it was 60, like, I would consider it on the OLED.
Mate, that OLED, honestly, see Hollow Knight, mate. You should see it on that thing. Gorgeous. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll leave that there. I'm sure there's going to be
fun.
previews and things which I'll probably check out and talk about. But it was announced. It looks very good. You've got multiplayer. You've got Lego pieces going fucking everywhere, and there's actually things that are made like there's people make. I think you can make weird looking fucking vehicles as well. I don't know if you've seen.
You can make vehicles and stuff like that there. It's coming to it in the near future where I can make something, you can download it.
See, that's cool.
So there's going to be, because like Forza does that there, where people make designs of cars like that there. You can get anything, Red Bull, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, and you can download it. So they're going to do kind of things like that.
There you are, Bobby. Item 9. You can take it away.
Yeah, Ubisoft is developing an AI tool that aims to support scriptwriters. The technology has been created by Ubisoft LaForge, the research and development arm behind the Assassin's Creed publisher. Introducing Ubisoft Ghostwriter, an AI tool developed in-house that aims to support our scriptwriters by generating the first draft of our NPC barks, the phases or sounds made by NPCs when players interact with the game world. Ubisoft wrote in the description for the above trailer, which we don't have because we're a podcast.
Yeah.
This tool was created hand in hand with scriptwriters to create more realistic NPC interactions by generating variations on a piece of dialogue. See how our teams will use AI to handle repetitive tasks and free up time to work on other core game elements.
So
AI is everywhere.
So Lindsay's dad and his business partner have me doing some social media for them, like their LinkedIn posts and stuff. So I've been using actually a lot of Canva, making them like kind of pictures and stuff and just posting them. Half the time though, I'm like, what do I write with this? So, ChatGPT, I went in, write me a post. They have a vending machine business. Write me a post about a vending machine. It's currently snowing. Why would people use a vending machine in an office? And honestly, see the things it comes up with. It works. So like it works better than what I would have sat there and made up myself. Mm-hmm. So see if it's only for people out in the game world. Like if there's actually one, The Witcher 3. All he hears, it's raining. Like that's what the guy says, and the other guy goes, oh, it's always bloody raining. But like wee things like that, you could say
they can open it up to maybe like, say you visit that town, visit that town or whatever, 30 times, and it's raining each time, but it'll be something different. Coming from them each time.
Write me this sentence in a different way for someone who's heard it before. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I actually think as long as it streamlines the process. And to be fair, we haven't even covered it on this podcast, which we probably should have. But there was I don't know if you had seen it. Kieran actually sent it in. There was footage this week from Unreal Engine 5 where they had the woman from Hellblade, Senua's
Hellblade?
Sacrifice. So did you watch this, Bobby?
No.
Yeah, so for anyone listening and for yourself, obviously, they had her on stage. And before, obviously, when you're making kind of a game, you would have to have mocap on. And there's a whole process, I think, where people maybe record the mocap and then they'll keyframe it to make it a bit more unrealistic in a way to suit the game, I'm guessing. But what they've done in this is they video her and they say she acts out this scene. It's only like 2 seconds, 4 seconds worth. And right away, they're able to import that into the system and make it happen in real time as a game character. And it looks incredible. So it's going to streamline that process. And anything that's streamlining that process means more turnaround time on games. The quicker we can get games out at higher quality, fantastic. So for this, say for something like that, it's going to create a much better world and just
because like see the amount of time that they would have to do just to put on silly stuff for NPCs. If they can put that into the main game and obviously let the AI just generate things like that there, obviously they'll still have to oversee it to make sure it's not complete nonsense, but it'll save a lot of time for them and they can push more time into development.
Yeah, like you don't like I even listened to I was just actually someone talking about Uncharted 4. They had a whole team whose whole time when Uncharted 4 was getting developed was to make one section, which is, if anyone has played it, it's the section with the vehicle and the train, which is a great section in Uncharted 4. There's one team designed to just make that over the whole course of the game. And it's like, how many teams are just sitting there and their job is to just make content for people to say in the game? Just things like that. It's going to save money for studios. It's going to save time. But even at the same time from there, hopefully you see less price increases, which is going to have to happen because games have stayed the same price for fucking ages typically. Apart from only now we're seeing things. But good. Very good. Make AI is fucking smart enough. I'm trusting it now compared to ever before anyway. So
yeah, 100%.
That looks good to me. You're on board then, Bobby? You're not kind of throwing your knickers around, sitting screaming, my games, my games?
No.
And they're going to be, in the day, someone's going to look at it and go, that's actually good or that sounds terrible anyway. You know what I mean? So the ones that stand out and be a bit awkward, they're going to get fixed. Simple as that. Or they'll just kind of go, oh, I actually like this. I'll change it to this though. So that wraps up the news. So what we're going to move on to is heavy hitters releasing this week, followed by a few questions. So heavy hitters releasing this week, Tuesday, 20th of March, 3 days time from the time we're recording this podcast. The Last of Us PC is now officially launching. So, Bobby, we have this on PlayStation. I played it recently. How well do you think this is going to sell?
I think it's going to do quite well.
Yeah,
especially with the end of the show.
Compared to PlayStation, I think we probably should have read on the differences, but I know there is kind of a few different kind of key differences. I think the Uncharted game sold quite well. You can actually play it on Steam Deck. A lot of people are playing it on Steam Deck.
It didn't sell as well as it thought.
Did it not?
No. And the reason why I think it didn't is because it's Uncharted 4.
1 second. Uncharted Lost Legacy. No, what's it called? Legacy of Faith.
Legacy of Thieves Collection. It didn't do great.
There's me. I stroked. Well,
I think Days Gone even all done better.
You're right, actually. Why was I thinking? That came out in November. Why am I thinking January? Right, okay, I'm cleared out of touch. Yeah. So yeah,
the reason why I think is because it's Uncharted 4 and because it's not like if they'd done the collection like that, 1, 2, and 3, I think that would make more sense.
That's silly. They should have done 1, 2, and 3 and then brought out 4. Like
because why bring out? Oh, here's the 4th game. The first one coming to PC is number 4. Like surely most people like me, I would prefer to play 1, 2, 3 and then 4.
Yeah.
I know I've done it in the past where like God of War, obviously I played the 3rd one and then went back, but that's just was the way it was. But a lot of people would want the first 3. I think they should have done the collection first, and then the hype would have been there for 4.
The question then I'm going to ask this is: The Last of Us PC, will it sell better than Spider-Man on PC?
No,
that sold like gangbusters, didn't it?
Spider-Man's quite a lot.
So
Spider-Man's universal. Everyone knows who Spider-Man is.
Spider-Man. Yeah. So there's Tuesday. I don't care. I just played it again recently. Have you watched the gameplay with Demi yet?
No, I was actually talking about. I was out with my mum earlier.
Yeah.
And she was saying, "Did you finish the Last of Us show?" And I says, "Yeah." So like, I really enjoyed it. She was like, "I thought there would have been a bit more zombies in it." And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's like a big issue that everybody's complaining about." And then she was like, "Oh no," she bought it in again. She was like, "No, actually, I did enjoy it though." I was like, "If you enjoyed it," I was like, "Don't fucking." Say no before I even say anything. I was like, type in Last of Us Part 1 4K movie on YouTube. I was like, watch it. It's like, what is it? I was like, it's the game, but it's condensed into like a movie form. So I actually
What was
gonna
the
do it.
reaction?
She was like, really? I was like, honestly, it's not like fucking. I know you might think games are silly and all. I was like, but the quality of games now compared to what you would have seen them when I was a kid,
Aye, fucking
it's like I was like, it's like a proper movie.
aye, and it's
And I
better.
was like, it's better. I was like, there's more zombies, there's more action, there's more story, there's more fucking ups.
Yeah,
And she was like, oh, but if I watch that there, then I wanna see more. And I was like, if you like it, I was like, you can watch part 2. I was like, will it spoil the next season of The Last of Us for you? I was like, yes and no,
yeah, pretty
but
much.
it's worth it. I was like, it's class, it's phenomenal. So I think she's actually going to do it. She told me to send her a link, which I actually must do.
There you go. I was trying to talk to Lindsay's man about it, and she was interested as well. But yeah, and then
Yeah.
you have Crime Boss, Rockay City, PC. Why did you put this in?
In case anybody wants to play a bit of Rock A City.
What is it?
It's that one. It's got like fucking, I think it's got like fucking Chuck Norris and all that.
Oh, really? I haven't seen anything
Yeah.
about it. Right, so
That looks awful.
right. Unless you want to play that on PC.
It's got a lot of big names, like fucking, I think Vanilla Ice and all's in it.
Fuck me, God help us all.
If
Let me
that's the one I'm
check it.
thinking of. Hope it is.
Let me have a look. Okay, so what I can see here is actually it starts with a cast. You have the guy, the Mexican guy who's in everything. He plays fucking, I forget his name.
Do you know what?
Machete.
He was in fucking Boba Fett when I was watching it the other night.
Fuck
He is
me.
in everything.
You have him. You've got the guy, Michael something from
Lethal Weapon, the black guy from Lethal Weapon.
yeah.
He's in it.
That's Quentin Tarantino. He's in Quentin Tarantino's fucking films. Forget his name. Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Bottom left. Who's that fella? Seems familiar.
It looks a bit like Michael Rooker, but let me see. Actors. We've got
What?
Chuck Norris, Damian Portier, Danny Trejo, that's the Mexican guy that's in everything. Danny Glover,
Danny Glover. Yeah.
Kim Basinger,
Right. And then Michael who? What's his
Michael
name?
Michael Madsen,
Madsen. Yeah.
Michael Rooker. That's who that is in the bottom left.
Michael
Vanilla
Rooker?
Ice. Yeah, he was in Walking Dead as Merle.
Right. Oh yeah.
He's the blue guy in Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
Is that him? He looked totally different in
Yeah.
that picture.
I thought it looked like him now. So yeah, it's a star-studded cast, but doesn't look great.
Looks younger. That's probably what's throwing me off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably
Who
the
knows?
That's a mental lineup of game or characters.
That's why I think it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah. And then finally you have Forza Horizon 5 Rally Adventure DLC, which I don't care about, but Bobby, I think you're buying it.
I've already bought it.
Really?
It's all ready to go. Yeah.
Surely that's a Game Pass game, is it not?
No, it's the Forza's on Game Pass, but you need to buy the DLC. You get a discount though if you're a Game Pass member.
That's weird. I thought everything they do would just be on Game Pass.
No, I think it makes sense to do it this way though, because it means you're invested in the game. At least you're putting some money into it. If you,
Yeah,
You like
fair
it?
enough.
or you're not getting everything for fucking free. Like
Right. Do you have anything to
I'm
add to it?
excited. No, I'm excited to play it. It's a bit of rally. Forza Horizon 5. I done the Hot Wheels DLC when it came out. Loved it.
What way is that? Is that just extremely arcadey Hot Wheels? Or is it all loops and shit?
There's loads of less mental.
I need
class,
to try
like.
that. I need to actually play Forza Horizon 5 and give it a blast.
It's very good.
So, to wrap up, we'll have the viewer question by Tim, aka Drunk TJ Hooker, which I will let Bobby take it away.
Yeah, so what game do you think is fantastic and must play, yet no one you know has played it? So Tim's response was, I would go with Transformers War for Cybertron. I was a big fan of Transformers growing up, was really hyped for the movies, and even though the movies aren't the best, I will still watch them if they're on. WFC was similar to Gears in a way, third person over the shoulder shooter. The art style was fantastic and reminiscent of the original designs. You had two campaigns, the Autobots and the Decepticons, so the good and bad guys. Good mix of weapons to choose from. For me, the best thing about it was escalation mode. It's a wave-based game like COD Zombies, which progressively gets harder. Spent hours playing it and perfecting one particular map.
Cool. What age?
So-
Out of interest, what age is Tim? Obviously, Tim's a friend of yours as
Tim
well.
is, I want to say he's about 35.
And War for Cybertron, when was that? Because it's familiar.
That was on the 360. And it's actually, I think IGN gave it a 9.
So, obviously, working a game, I remember a lot of people buying these Transformers games. I've never been a really big fan of it, to be honest with you. But I know some people, 9 out of 10. So, it was well rated back in the day. And what was it on Metacritic? Let's have a look.
77 PS3.
76, so well rated in the grand scheme of things, 8.4. So no, I've never even played that, but the Transformers games, like I said, I've heard really good things. So what about you, Bobby? Like I was reading this earlier, and I do have a game in mind, but
Must play that nobody else has played, but one of mine would probably be it's like one of my favorite games for
see if
PS1,
you
which
fucking
is
talk about black and
I'm
white.
not saying black and white.
fucking
That would be one. I actually went to say that last week because I had this question last week, but no, it would probably be Herc's Adventures.
So when
PS1?
you always say Herc's Adventures, I think of the PS1 Hercules
Yep,
game, which
it
I
is
love.
not Disney's Hercules.
I need to check this out.
Google it. Just Google a wee bit of gameplay on it and just see it.
Right, Herc's
It is
Adventures.
phenomenal.
So it's a video game released for the PlayStation and Sega Saturn by LucasArts, 1997. Oh, it's quite cool. Oh, I like that I like the art style.
Yep. So think like what kind of gameplay would it be?
It looks like Earthworm Jim art style in a way. Actually, yeah. Did you ever watch Earthworm Jim? Did you ever see the game?
Yeah, I've seen the game. Yeah, think kind of like Diablo in the sense you're only pressing one button to use your sword, and then you maybe got something to throw as well with a different button, that kind of thing. You're walking through it all.
Oh, so
There's
you're
bosses and thing.
Is it like Streets of Rage kind of?
No, so it's open world kind of style.
Right, I have never heard of this game. Who made that?
Google it. Go to
I'm
do a
looking
wee
at
bit of.
pictures.
I'll
Who you
Adventures.
do this? Because I actually, well, so anyone who's watching or listening, sorry, you've Herc's Adventures gameplay. It looks graphically like Earthworm Jim on the Sega Mega Drive. If anyone's seen, top down. Let's have a wee look here. Jesus, no, that was. Okay, top down. Hopefully, anyone heard that. I was actually just playing a bit of music around that. Came in.
So I'm on the Wikipedia. Some reviews: Electronic Gaming Monthly give it an 8.25 out of 10. GameSpot give it a 7.8 out of 10.
So what's the story?
so
How did you find her? Where did you find out about Herc's Adventures? Because I never.
I
Heard of it.
think I picked it up at the market.
Ah, okay.
You know, I used to go up to Sunday market, get your wee chip for your chip PlayStation.
Yeah, so we lived up near this dodgy place where we used to sell fake games, which was amazing. When I say fake games, just like pirated games. It was great.
Yeah.
Free for a tenner, if I recall. So you played.
Class.
Yeah, I remember getting like Tomorrow Never Dies and all from there, and Borderlands Not
So-
Enough.
The story is, as far as I remember, I'm on the way look here, is something to do with Persephone gets kidnapped
Mm-hmm.
and you're chosen to go and rescue her from Hades.
What I think's funny is this ties into you obviously liking Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Is this
Love
a
Greek
reason for that?
mythology. It could be.
And most likely
Could be
is.
because I would have been a kid. When did that come out?
Fucking 1998, like,
97.
yeah.
So I would have been what, 6?
Yeah, I can imagine as a kid playing this and liking this game, like in terms of how it looks. I wouldn't play it now.
Do you know what you should do? You should get it on the Steam Deck just to try it for fucking 5 minutes just to see what it is.
I can see I'm watching the gameplay from it. I get it.
It's class. It's so good.
Yeah.
It
Well,
came out around the same time as Disney's Hercules as well. I think it was the same year.
really? Right, interesting.
Yeah. Very good. That's one that, but I always say it and people's like, oh, Disney someone, I love that. And I was like, no, this is a different one.
Yeah.
Nobody's played it.
I love the Disney one. Well, look, I was thinking for mine. Now, this game, people will know this game. You've played one of these games, but you've never played this game, I'm guessing. And a lot of people, even who like the other franchises it's associated with, like the other franchise, but maybe haven't played this, or I don't know why really, or they played the other ones and they put off. Now, this one to me, it stands on its own. Like I played the rest and they're okay, but number one, it's more nostalgia for me because I played this back in 2003. Now, do you remember on Sky there was like channels that just show games, like gameplay of games? Did you ever see this back in the day?
I can't remember.
Yeah, so as a kid, like before school, I would just watch it, and there was music playing, but there was like showing gameplay, and I remember there used to be showing like a SpongeBob game and Okami and shit, but there was gameplay and music playing. It was just a gaming channel, and I had seen this game, and it must have been a year later. I ended up, or not even a few months later, that I ended up going out, and it was in Conswater and game, and I found it and I picked it up, and it became probably the game that I was most obsessed with. It was Kingdom Hearts 1. Now, what is your knowledge of Kingdom Hearts?
So the only thing I know about it is that there's a fuck ton of Disney characters in it. There's like a giant key sword, and that's pretty much it.
Keyblade. Yeah, so
Sorry.
I like Disney. I'm probably not a huge fan, but I liked it. Was the whole I seen like the Nightmare
don't.
Before. I seen the whole Nightmare Before Christmas and all in it. I was like, that looks cool. But you know the cast at the time, like you have a lot of original voice actors of the Disney films, but then you have the kid
Yeah.
from The Sixth Sense, Haley Joel Osment.
Is he in that as well?
He does the voice of Sora.
Right. Oh, right. Okay. I thought you meant he's actually in it. As
No,
a
he's not
character.
him. He goes, it's not the fucking one of the worlds. So that game, like what you do in that game is you go to the Disney world and then it's the Disney game story, but then it ties into the overall story. But I like Disney films. I wasn't too obsessed with them, but just that game in general and the overall story got me into Final Fantasy. And I think as number one itself is a fucking phenomenal game that most people should try. I think it is a masterpiece. But even though like Kieran, people have played it, even though like Final Fantasy, but they've never really actually played this one. And I think a lot of people obviously jumped on and tried to play 2 or 3, and they're not the same. They're fucking bizarre. They've ruined the whole story, anyone who is a Kingdom Hearts fan. So one's definitely worth playing, and to be fair, I think you can play them on the Steam Deck. It's on the Epic Store. So,
Oh, is it?
yeah. So I would be happy to give that a blast again. Because they are, like, 1 is a fantastic game. 2 and 3, the story is bonkers. Like, even for me, it's just...
It looks nuts. Like, it looks crazy because I think I started 3 maybe on, I think it was on Game Pass a couple of years ago. And I started
it's
on,
2.
I had like Donald Duck run the way. Is that what you call him?
Yeah, like, 1 is a self-contained kind of story in a way that makes sense. And then all the rest just... Honestly, like, it gets so bizarre that even fans of the games will tell you it's the most obtuse game story ever. And you have to play, like, random spin-offs and mobile games to know the story. And it all feeds into the mainline games. So there's 3 mainline games and so many spin-offs. So that's what I would say. I did give it a think and couldn't really think of much. I think most masterpieces, in my opinion, are probably played or at least known.
Yeah.
But that's it. Anything to add, Bobby? That's us at the end.
No, I was just gonna say I think from next week onwards we're going to actually come.
We're going to come on the show. We're going to have a.
We're going to come with
a
a question for each other.
Yeah.
About gaming. I'm also
Right.
maybe start that next week where we could just come. It could be absolutely anything to do with gaming, something we want to find out about the other person, or something we've played that the other person might not have that we want to talk about. Anything.
Yeah.
We'll start it next week.
Well, right to add, by the way, is why I think Hollow Knight might be the best Metroidvania. Is in Metroid Dread, did the areas feel different to you enough?
No, it's very much the same, the whole thing, apart from like water and different platforms and stuff.
So, like, actually, what I'd say was, see, with like Hollow Knight, very much the Dark Souls thing. See the different areas, they're very memorable. Like, that's kind of one thing. Like, oh, this is actually really good. Whereas when I did compare to Metro, it's like, fuck, a lot of the areas are samey, water, warm. So, Bob, I hope you enjoy your Metroidvanias and you prosper. But other than that, that'll do, Donkey. That'll do. Anything to add before we go?
No.
That was beautiful. And to be kind of true to the nature, I don't like Fate. I'm not a Fate fan.
He does.
I don't. Anyway, peace out, A-Town. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.